this Black Friday.
Let's go, baby. Give me Hayes. Hayes never fail, baby.
All right, Mike. You get to pick any question. Touchdown for 6 points. Field goal for 3 points. Extra point for 1. And obviously the 2-point conversion for 2.
Let's go Christmas NFL. We'll start it off. We'll ease it in. We'll dip our toes into it.
Mike knocked out the quick, extra easy, extra point. Fizz, your turn to answer, man. What you going to go with on your turn?
We're going to go for 3, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going for Steph Curry range out here. Matter of fact, Brandon Aubrey range.
Which category you want?
We're going to go Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's coming up. So let's go Thanksgiving. Turkey Day.
Oh, Fizz. I thought.
Come on.
Uh-oh. We got the lightning round. Lightning round. Each one of you guys gets 1 minute. Name as many players as you can. Pick your era. 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Let's go. Like Jaden Daniels, game on the line. Need that Hail Mary. Go 2000s, baby.
I'm from the mean streets of D.C., baby. You know what I'm saying? We going 80s.
McNutted versus Fizzle Dollars. Make sure you check it out this Black Friday on the new South Harmon Vibes YouTube channel.
Oh, you motherfuckers. You think you can do this to me? I'm the man up in this place. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I run shit here. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Gonna burn this motherfucker down.
X Factor like Dez Bryant, my boy 88. Watch Dream Light when you living like a heavyweight. This ain't a 1 week thing, we grind like every day. They know my destination, Devi, like I hang with Ray. If they ain't know my name, I bet they know my name today. Treat this mic like a ATM, let's make a trade today. Drop this on Fizzle Friday, cause that's my favorite day. And I'm gonna do it my way, cause that's my favorite way. They tried to put me on the shelf like I'm layaway. Told me it ain't no way, so I made a way. Welcome to South Harmon, I'm glad you here today.
Hey, what's poppin', man? We glad to be up in here tonight, man. That good old intro before the intro, you know what I'm saying? We had something else cooking. Something else cooking, baby. You know, we doing big things, man. My boy ATM cooked up this good old promo for the show next Friday, man. That's the introduction to a new introduction. New channel popping up. You know, hey, listen. We trying to set the tone. We trying to set the mood, man. You know what I'm saying? It's holiday time, Fizzle Friday, almost Black Friday, Thanksgiving time. So we put something together, man. Me and Mike got a good show next week, Adam. But man, let the people know, man, with the new channel. I know you said it's in the description. You know, I'm still learning this stream. Yeah, I don't even know how to look it up. But just let them know who it's at, bro.
Yeah, man. If you're on the video, go down, check in the description. You can see the link to the new channel, new YouTube channel called South Harmon Vibes. We're gonna let Fizzle cook over there with a banger coming up this Black Friday, Fizzle Friday, where we're gonna do kind of like a game show, kind of theme it with a little bit of holiday, give the people a chance to talk and bullshit just how you want to. But if you're part of the South Harmon family, you like fantasy football, you don't like fantasy football, you don't like Dynasty Fantasy Football, you just want to kind of vibe with us. That's what that channel is going to be all about. So make sure you are tapped in over there and subscribe for us so we get this thing popped off the right way.
That's it, man. We're gonna have a good time. I mean, we have a good time everywhere we at, man. But on that channel, man, there's no rules. You know what I'm saying? Like we basically want to categorize it, right? So I don't want you looking for the game show in the middle of searching for Dynasty rankings 1 through 10. So pretty much that's how we categorizing it. And you looking for a good time, tap in over there. You looking to win some leagues, tap in on both channels, but also tap in over there because hey, that's your style. That's your stilo. Maybe you want to learn one day. Maybe you don't want to be on Fizzle Friday time. You know what I'm saying? We're drinking with Mike and watching ATM be late like he always is. But other than that, late, man.
Always about a good 10 minutes too, you know?
I had to throw one to my boy, man. But yeah, new channel on the way. It's already created, man. Sub, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man. And we're going to be around for a minute, baby. So we hope y'all ready for this game show next Friday, though, man. It's going to get cracking. ATM is the host. Mike was so nervous tonight he couldn't make it because he had to study and learn his questions, man. So
yeah, he's wearing my spaghetti, as if you know, you know.
Nah, for real. So yeah, man, next week, man, make sure y'all tap in, man. But for the night, man, we glad y'all here. Friday night, baby, you know, hey, couldn't be nowhere else. How the weather out there, Adam? I know it was snowing last night during the game. How it's looking right now, bro?
You know what's crazy? It's definitely some snow down here, but so Fizz, I was trying to do my rankings and set my teams and stuff right before the game, and I got the weather here. I know that the stadium, I'll say this, it's on the lake. It's on Lake Erie, right on the water. So that always does throw a little bit of a curveball in there. They actually have what they call the lake effect. But I'm looking at radar and everything. I'm like, I think we're going to be straight, man. Like, I think I'm going to let a lot of these guys cook. Like, I'm left them high in my rankings, played them and stuff. Yeah. Man, second half of that game, the snow globe just got shook up, bro. It was crazy. The blizzard was so crazy, you couldn't even see, like, the ball traveling in the air. Like,
it was crazy because if you watch the game, literally, I think I saw a description of a picture where one drive, it was all grass. The very next drive, you couldn't even read the numbers on the screen, bro. It was like just like that. It dropped out of nowhere and it got real fast.
It absolutely did. What's crazy too about that game, like if you just didn't watch it at all, or if you just caught parts of it, the Browns basically dominated that game and stopped the Steelers from doing anything. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, the Steelers came back. The Browns kind of really pissed it away, but also found a way to win it back. That almost never happens with a team that's terrible. You're 2-8. Like once you piss the game away, it's a wrap. Like, all right, we should have won the game, but we didn't. That's why we 2-9. Like we go home. The fact that they end up winning that game after they pissed it away, in my opinion, was kind of crazy. But what was your opinion on that game in general?
I was just about to say, if you think about how they won, though, bro, think about it. They controlled that whole game.
They for sure did.
They had Tillman had a fumble.
That he got hit twice. Crazy. That ball got hit right there, and then he got knocked out that last time.
He fumbled, and Njoku dropped the touchdown. Luckily, Jameis ran it in. Then they sacked James. So literally, the Browns was giving this game away. It wasn't like the Steelers were blowing them out and the Browns came back. The Browns were literally in control of this whole game. I just think, man, and I'm gonna keep saying that Arthur Smith is a problem. He's always gonna be a problem. And I feel like I know they're not going to make this two quarterback room, but certain games call for Justin Fields and certain games call for Russell Wilson. And last night, I believe with the playbook strategy that they have built up for Fields, it would have been a lot better seeing Fields go out there and just try to create something versus Rush throwing balls that weren't getting caught because it was too much snow. Like they kept putting Fields in. I called this play on the goal line, right? And it was the Cleveland Browns, who was second and goal. And they ran the ball with Chubb, right? And shout out to the chat. We're going to give y'all 1 second, man. I'm just trying to make this a good point.
We good. Hey, do your thing, baby.
Second and goal. And we on the VC. Me, Mike, Barry, Schumer. Damn, I've been drinking, bro. We got our same regular crew, bro.
Hey, cheers. I got a little brown, too. Let's go.
Same crew, right? So I'm like, bro, it's no reason they're still running the ball with Chubb. But second and goal, on third down, they should just do a play action, and Njoku or Atkins is gonna be wide open because Atkins was open the entire night.
They didn't. It was clear that they didn't plan for him at all. Which I mean, why would you? He was open every time he ran around
the whole time, bro. Literally, the next play they did the play action to Chubb, and that's when Jameis threw it to Njoku. And I called the play because I said, bro, this is the play you need to draw up. Now, granted, Njoku dropped it, but I'm saying that to say, the playbook last night for the Steelers on the third and fourth down, because they went for it on fourth down like 4 times. All of them they didn't get. But we know when Justin Fields in the game, you're gonna run it, right? Every time you put Fields in, you're gonna run the ball. So
they did for the most part. What's tough about it probably when you game plan is like it's not like you bring in a wildcat guy. Like Fields can throw the ball clearly.
Exactly. So he's a quarterback.
Right. And what's crazy was Pickens ended up kind of wanting pass interference, and then he kind of got the corner was in his way on that one. But Fields actually threw a really good ball there. Pickens just went down before it got there at the end of the game.
But that was just go to Pat Freiermuth. Act like you're going to run the ball with Fields. Have Pat Freiermuth cut across the middle, bro. He's going to be wide open because everybody thinks Fields going to run.
No, that's true. That's fair.
You simplify the playbook so much for Fields, but then you don't use them in situations where have him do the jump ball play that Lamar do, right? Jump in the air and just throw the ball down. Like come up with something creative on 3rd or 4th and 1 when you put Fields in versus just, hey, you a running back now, running the ball. Like it just don't make any sense to me. And I think this Steelers defense masked this Arthur Smith offense so much that people believe that it was going to work, and it's just not going to work. So overall though, good game. I enjoyed it. My boy, the famous one, the Jameis one, Crab Leg King came through, man, and we ate them W's
everywhere. Baby. Let's go.
Ate them W's, baby. So Good game overall, man. But before we keep yapping and snapping, man, let's holler at the people, man. My boy Rock in the building. Rock in the building, man. He said chasing lamb. Oh, yeah, we're going to discuss that, Playboy. Don't worry about that, man.
T-Rock, what's up, man?
Okay. He didn't get you the money back. I got the money back. You got the credit card. That's what I'm talking about, boy. He's my brother, man. That's what's up, man. Hold on. We got the doctor in the building. I ain't seen this brother on Fridays, and I don't know how long, man. So that's what he said.
I miss Doc. I miss all the guys.
He said I'm with the wife, but he said she out with her cousin. So, hey, now he joining the crew, man. That's what I'm talking about, Doc. We appreciate you, man. Hey, that's my Chick-fil-A brother right there. Every time we link up, it's Chick-fil-A, man. That's my Chick-fil-A date right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Yeah. Bro. That's my boy.
Yep.
Let me see. We got DB in the building. DB came through last night, man. It was I know DB said he's gonna take it. You know, this is around the time he take his break. But Thursday nights, man. If you in the Patreon, you in the Savage tier, bro. This is what you here for, man. Just come join and kick it with us every Thursday night. We watching the game, chilling, talking, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? So if you in the Savage tier, man, come kick it with us, man. Every Thursday night, game time, baby. Who else we got popping up in here, man? Pops, I know it's Dallas week, man. We hopefully y'all do y'all job, right? Because one thing we know about these games, like last night, Pittsburgh was supposed to win that game, right?
Well, you know
do not give the Cowboys a reason to win this game, bro. Y'all let us win this game,
brother. Check this out. What's funny? I was while you were doing that, I was ad-libbing a little bit on the side and waiting for this point. And that's funny he brought up Dallas because I was actually just going to say to you, Fizz, you know what's really crazy about the Steelers, who I still honestly I really do believe they're Super Bowl contenders. I think their offense will be in a better position if Russ is in there in a game where it's not snowing like that. To your point, though,
facts.
Like Fields ended up being a big spark for them in that game. Russ did end up making that touchdown at the end, but the one thing that's crazy when you think about this, right? The Browns, man, are so ass this year, and you know who else is ass this year? Is Dallas.
100%.
Steelers have a grand total of 3 losses, Fizz, and you know that the Cowboys and the Browns beat their ass.
I ain't even thinking about that,
bro. You know how crazy
and it's
the
same team that just beat Baltimore and the Commanders, right?
And well, the Browns have 3 wins. 2 of their wins, I would argue, are the best wins in football right now.
Yep.
They beat the Ravens and they beat the Steelers. That's crazy. And I do think one thing to keep in mind as we're getting down the stretch here, these division games, even when people are out of the division, always end up being a dogfight. But all AFC North in particular, Fizz, the AFC North is just a gritty division. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm actually looking up right now to see if you know. It's not as bad for the Ravens, but they did lose to the Browns. I'm curious if you think they got 4 losses. Who they lost to this year, Fizz?
Who, the Browns?
The Ravens. Oh, well, the Browns lost a bunch.
Oh, no, the Ravens lost to the Raiders.
Yep.
The Steelers, the Browns.
Yep.
And nobody say nothing. I got it right here because I know that Ravens schedule.
Yep.
Oh, the Chiefs, week 1.
There you go, first one. Yep. Because it's funny they started 0-2 and now the panic is clearly not there anymore. But to think about, they lost to the Raiders at home, and they lost to the Browns this year.
Yeah.
Like it kind of does go. My point is basically, any given Thursday, any given Sunday, any given Monday, any given team can lose to somebody, especially when they're kind of rivals.
In division, bro. And see, look, I called it, and our little pick 'em that EV made. I picked the Browns to win. I knew they was gonna win, bro. It's a trap game, Thursday night, short week
traveling to Cleveland in the snow globe. It's funny because my dad is a Steelers fan. I don't know if you know that.
Nah, I ain't know.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Say what you gonna say.
I was just gonna say I don't want us to do it, bro. But if we go out there and beat the Commanders, I'm not gonna be surprised. And it ain't because we better than them. It's just because these games happen for no reason, bro. And the worst part about it is we're gonna win a game, celebrate it, and it's gonna be for what? And then all I gotta hear for the next week is, oh well, we got a better record, but you lost, bro. Just take your L and be quiet, man. So I'm hoping and praying the Commanders win this game. I pray that we don't win. And then the Giants made it worse by getting rid of Daniel Jones. So now they want to tank more than us. So now next Thanksgiving on next week on Thanksgiving, bro, we got the Jive Turkey Bowl with DeVito and Cooper Rush, bro. I mean, what is going on?
Little cutlets, Tommy cutlets for your thing,
bro.
Hey, yo, I saw a savage
mac and cheese time.
I saw a savage tweet on X. So they had Danny Dimes as the 4th stringer, right, in the quarterback room, and they let him play some stuff in like the
free safety or something. Yes,
exactly. And I don't know if you saw that tweet then where they were like, they kind of basically, it's like when they about to put a dog down, they just start letting them do whatever they need to kind of get their life. And I'm like, that is crazy.
Nah, for real. They did dimes. I'm glad he asked for a release though. I'm glad he ain't just suck it up and say, well, I just stick around. Like, I'm glad he said, listen, man, let me go, man. Y'all playing games. You got me playing safety, bro. Come on, man. Come on now.
The thing about it is, what's really crazy too to think is this is a game, or I'm sorry, not a game. This is a season where people were wondering if he was even like gonna be right off of the ACL. I mean, the thing is, he was running fine all year. He just is Danny Dimes, right? So he's out there. They got him on basically scout team and stuff. It's pretty hilarious. But shame on the Giants, man. You thought you were gonna pay Danny Dimes and let Saquon not get an absolute bag, and that was gonna work. Like they had this coming to him. In my opinion,
for sure, they earned this one. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's time to reset, man. I say this all the time. When it's time, it's time. And I think it's a reason why Saquon is gone. It's a reason why Daniel Jones didn't work. It's just time to reset. If they had Daniel Jones and Saquon, you can't look me in my face and tell me that they still a playoff team. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they would just be putting Band-Aids over a hole and hoping that it doesn't bleed out for the next 3 years. It's just
if they had, you're talking if they had Barkley this year, if they had kept him.
I'm saying right now, if they got Barkley, I'm still not putting them in the playoffs in the NFC.
I do think see, with Neighbors and Barkley, I think actually what you saw that year where they snuck in, I think that's a team that could sneak in again, but they're going absolutely nowhere. That team is just not going to go anywhere.
Because you look at the NFC West, right? They got Seattle, Arizona, the Rams, all four of them, the 49. All four of them teams can make it before the Giants. I'm taking all of them over the Giants, even with Saquon, to be honest.
Well, I don't disagree with the point you're making of the teams, but just think about it this way. The Giants with Barkley could very easily be 5-5 as opposed to 2-8. And that's what the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners all are. Those teams, each one of those teams they're kind of beating up on each other, but they're also kind of like, they all have upside, but they all can play so mid or poor at the same time. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens for Frisco. What's interesting, wasn't on the thumbnail, but breaking news just happened. Brock Purdy not playing this week.
Yes, sir.
And it's a good transition to talk about real quick to him. But I want to give the agree or disagree. I feel like we had our first disagree there on Barkley just a little bit. We kind of really agree. I'm just kidding.
For sure.
Barkley will make this team more of a pretender, but they might sneak in. I think.
But that's what I mean by like.
100% with you. We're good.
You just masking. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna talk about my own team right quick, right? I've been saying this for so long. You want to? Bro. I've been saying this for so long, bro. People talk about the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys, right? If they were the Seattle Seahawks with this same roster, nobody would talk about them. But since they're the Cowboys, everybody talks about them. But look at CeeDee Lamb, and then look at who's the next receiver up. We're talking Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, man. You know, we didn't get a running back. We have a banged up O-line. Our D-line is wishy-washy. I mean, this is an average team at best on paper, bro. Sure. But the expectations for them to be 11-win, 12-win team is because they're the Cowboys, and they've done it with lesser talent. But if you look at Mike McCarthy being the coach who they don't believe in, and then you go to the roster, there's no way this team is going to win anything. So
fair.
We've been going to the playoffs with a team that shouldn't even have been winning the NFC East, bro. If you look at the Eagles roster last year, they were better than the Cowboys last year, but the Cowboys won the division. So I'm just saying that to say, the Giants, the Cowboys, these teams are just putting masquerade on every week. You know that Joker, you know, when the clown face when he crying, putting makeup on in the mirror. That's exactly what we do every single week and win games. But really, we not as good as our record seems to be, bro.
Dang, I can't believe this statement is happening when Mike ain't here. Mike is somewhere like a pig in shit right now, just happy as could be listening to you say that.
I'm being 100, bro. I'm being 100, man.
No, I'm not. You are. No, you are. I'm just saying Mike would be loving hearing this segment. He is somewhere, he just ain't here. I think to your point, like I'm kind of with it. I think
shout out Slashy though, man. That was a good move, bro. I like that move. He got Braylon Allen and sold him for a fourth in 5 hours, man. That's how we do it, bro. That's how you do it in South Harmon way, baby. That's how we do it.
Listen, it's a low stakes version but it is 4D chess right there, man. He flipped that thing like it was nothing, you know, created it out of thin air.
I picked up Brandon Allen. I sent out 3 offers as soon as I did it, though. So trust me, I'm waiting for a decline or a reply real soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a pick swap. I don't even need a whole pick. Give me a swap.
The thing about Purdy, though, man, is listen, with this being the way it is and him saying, like, we thought kind of, and Shanahan saying we kind of thought he was going to be ready to go, but then he went out and tried it, and it really, like, his pain tolerance wasn't able to handle it. I'm kind of curious to see, man, with these guys having so much at stake here. One, how does the offense look with Brandon Allen versus with Purdy? And does it really take a huge dip? I'm not saying that it won't. It absolutely could. But does that happen? And then how many games does he miss? Honestly, it kind of reminds me a lot of the Levis.
That's my question.
Levis missed 3 games similarly with the injury. So, like, for example, this team is 5-5 fighting for a playoff berth. If he misses 3 games, man, that could be a death sentence for their season, bro.
But I'm gonna be honest, bro. This is a situation where I trust the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I just trust the coach. Whether I don't care if they sign me or you, I'm gonna trust Kyle Shanahan to make one of us look good. And I'm not saying that Allen is anybody that I want or I'm going to hype up or talk about. But I believe that Kyle Shanahan is who he is for a reason. And if Sam Darnold was the backup, Sam Darnold would be what he doing in Minnesota right there in San Fran to me. So I'm going to trust the coach on this one. And now if this was the Panthers or some other situation, I would have been like, hell no. But being that it's the 49ers, they could pick up Kurt Warner from the grocery store again, and I'm gonna go get Kurt. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm gonna roll, man. I trust the coaching, bro.
No, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we're gonna find out. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. Well, what's funny, speaking of the Cowboys again, I don't mean to keep bringing them up, but they do keep having to come up. The Cowboys still don't even want to play Trey Lance, so that conversation seems to be done no matter what, because Trey can't even get in ahead of Cooper Rush, man. It's kind of crazy to me.
I think he's gonna get in, bro. I think at some point
I do, but when? Like, what are we waiting for?
But I think it's the coaching. I think McCarthy don't know what to do with him. That's what I think. I think if you had an innovative coach like a Sean McVay, like a Kyle Shanahan, like a LaFleur, one of these young guys who knew the game and knew how to draw up a different design. I think Lance would get a package at least a package. I mean, McCarthy. And look, hey, Adam, think about this, right? And me and my boy Voorhees brought this up. They even use Dak's cadence. Nobody has any customization. True. Like they don't even they like creative players. They just copied Dak's attributes and they didn't have enough tokens to boost up to the rating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even change the offense with the backups to give it a different flair. You still use the here we go and like, bro, Dak is gone. Where's the new offense at? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even come up with a secondary offense for in case Dak got hurt. So that let me know right there that this team ain't built to win.
Well, they have a lot of problems in Dallas. I mean, a lot of it I think is Jerry and putting them in. And to your point, that's actually something I hadn't thought of. And if that's actually true, that's even crazier. But I'll say this though, to the point of the Niners and what's going to happen with Purdy. I do think Purdy is their best option and is probably to a point better than, like even Mike and I, we get down on Purdy. I think he's better than we give him credit for at times, but at the same time, they also can, with a replacement level quarterback, probably still win some games. I just don't know if this Niners team can. In the past, they could. This Niners team right now really is not actually looking like that, bro. Like they're just.
Well, they got CMC back now, bro. He should be healthy. Last week was his introduction back to the game. George Kittle was out. So let's just say
Kittle was out for sure.
Yeah, Kittle's healthy, CMC healthy, Debo healthy, Pearsall. They got a solid team, bro.
They do. Debo hasn't been anywhere near the same player this year, in my estimation. And the other thing that I'm kind of curious to see is, I'm not going to say he's looked bad, and I know he's coming along from an injury, so it could just take some time. But CMC also hasn't looked like CMC, frankly. So I'm not saying he can't be. I'm not saying he can't. I'm with you. I could see a scenario where, hey, he's starting to just come along slowly, but I could also see it like, maybe these guys aren't quite. I do think Kittle's having an awesome year, and he's still good, but
for sure,
Juwan Jennings is a big part of their offense. Is the team good enough? Is the team good enough at this point to carry a Brandon Allen? I don't know. I don't know, man.
I think statistically, Brandon Allen can get you 15 points a game.
15 points a game ain't going to be good enough for the Niners, though.
I'm just saying fantasy wise. I'm talking fantasy right now.
Oh, fantasy, yeah.
Fantasy wise, because in real life, I'm not looking for anything from Brady. I'm just saying fantasy for people that got him, traded for him, looking to get him. He can get you 15. He can get you Caleb Williams numbers right now.
That is very true though. Listen, I'm in a league right now with big money on it. Your Idiot League Mates is called over at BDGE, and it's $5K on the line, and I need quarterbacks badly. So best believe on this waiver run tomorrow, he's still out there. We unload like the clip. It's not because I love the player. It's because I think he could give me honestly like a mid quarterback value at some point for sure.
And like you said, you're not sure how long Purdy could be out, bro. It's an injury that could be lingering. It could be 4 weeks. It could be,
it's his throwing shoulder too. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So it was funny, right? Because I wasn't gonna pick him up. I don't know why. I was just being cocky. But the guy in one of my leagues, he picked up Josh Dobbs, and I was thinking, why would he do that? So I said, you know what? Let me pick up Allen just to show him he got the wrong guy. So I got Allen just out of spite of him getting Dobbs, and now I'm here. So
absolutely.
But
tell me, man. Tell me about this agree or disagree, and let's talk to people a little bit.
No, for sure. That's all about it. We about to holler Potato Juice, man. It's a wild name there, Playboy. I ain't gonna lie, and this thumbnail says it all. So I shout out to you, Playboy, for you coming.
Potato Juice. Potato Juice might need to come to the expo next year, man. Come kick it with the guys, man.
So, hey, he on Twitch. That's what I like to see, man. Different platform. That's what I like to see. So he said he traded CeeDee for Mike Evans and Pacheco. Thoughts? Super L, if you ask me, brother.
Is this redraft or dynasty, Potato Juice?
That's a big question, because if it's
redraft, I actually like it in redraft quite a bit. I would honestly consider Evans and CeeDee's close, and I might lean Evans in redraft. And getting Pacheco as the joker there would be huge. I think in dynasty,
that's a tough pill to swallow, bro.
You better win if you're taking this Evans and Pacheco side.
I'm gonna be honest.
In dynasty, you have to win for this to work.
You gotta add a first with Evans and Pacheco to even be thinking about CeeDee. Like, that's not even. How sometimes. Let's just hope it's redraft. I hope it's redraft. Bro.
I do too. One thing I will say though is sometimes, like, these guys are both going to come back from injuries. Now Pacheco is much longer than Evans, but they're both coming back from injuries at the same time, the same week. And sometimes, like, just the euphoria of a guy like Pacheco, and now he's finally back. The overvaluing can be way too high, right? Where Pacheco was going to be him. Part of the reason Pacheco was going to be him is because there's no one else in the backfield. I don't think Kareem Hunt's just giving him the keys to 90%. So
me neither, bro. And honestly, I think they might ride Hunt more because Pacheco is the future. Why rush him, hurt him again when Hunt's doing just fine? We still winning games. Playoff time come, we bring him casually in, but I don't see Pacheco being a top 15 running back for at least another 3-4 weeks, bro.
Yeah, he would be a guy that probably, if it goes his way, will be ramped up and ready to rock for your team in a bigger way by the playoffs of the fantasy football season, right? Like, we get through week 12, week 13, week 14, week 15, maybe he's all of a sudden like 65, 70% of snaps, maybe. But that's also probably on the bullish side, Fizz, if I'm being honest. Like, I could see a scenario where these guys are closer to a 50-50 thing. Like this week here, it kind of reminds me a little bit of, it's not the same because Brooks has never played for the Panthers, but it's kind of similar where it's like, all right, Brooks is back. Yeah, but he's going to sit behind Chuba because Chuba's been like that. And we're going to keep riding him because he's been playing well. So I think it's similar to that. You got a big question here from Dr. B, though, I want to get to.
Well, look, shout out my boy Rob, man. He always stopping through. Hey, Rob, listen, I heard you was fighting Shaq coming up, bro. So let me know. You got some tickets for your boy, man. Let me know something. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy, man.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. That's hilarious.
Holla at your boy, man. Shout out Mr. Wonderful, always cooking up them trades. My boy here, I don't know what leagues he's in, but he got the best trades I've ever seen, bro.
His shoulders got to be hurting him, man, because he trying to carry the trade show at times in the season, man. Because there's two people out here ain't getting deals done. Mr. Wonderful's like, here, I got y'all on 2 or 3 right here. Put him in.
I'm gonna say this: Mr. Wonderful slipped up because he didn't take famous Jameis, and now I'm 2 games ahead of him. and the pick'em standings, baby. I'm number one. Just to let y'all know, your boy is number one out of like 38 people in the pick'ems, baby. Every week you need to win some games. Holler at me, baby. But Mike,
number one on the charts, man. Fizzle Dolla is number one on the charts, man.
But Adam, this is the problem. I can't get my damn money lines right on my bets, though. I get my pick'ems right. I get 10 games a week, right? But when we go to the betting, I can't win. I lose one game for no reason, bro. Every damn time.
Yeah, it's the ATM guy, the money guy here. So there's different wagers on them, I'd imagine, and them higher stakes. All of a sudden, like it just there's a voodoo in that higher stakes. It's kind of crazy, man. It really is. I've been there. This year, man, I'm everything I got going on. I've been trying to stay away from betting too much. I'll put a little here and there just to keep it interesting, but I've been trying to stay away from it because the funny part about it is, man, like at least for me, you hit a couple really big bets and you out here grinning ear to ear, you all happy. I'll be way too like I'm not gonna say actually emotional, but like I'll get like for a couple hours, like, man, all pissed off about losing a bet. Like, for what, man? Bro? Hey, making myself mad for no reason.
I'm getting used to losing at this point. So it is what it is, man. So
that's fair. I mean, this is listen, you're talking to the Browns fan. We've consistently
we
used to losing and every year showing up. You know what was pretty cool actually about that game and the announcers? Listen, when you're a Cleveland fan and you're from this area, you notice how the mainstream media will always give us far less than what we're due. Like I remember, bro, we were back when they were called the Indians. They're in the World Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're up 3-1, and the Joe Buck and them are talking about how like the Indians are still underdogs in this series. Like crazy. Like we did lose, by the way. But
well, you lost, so.
But like. To say the other team is an underdog and the other team should be winning 3 games in a row after they already got down 1-3 is crazy. But they gave us some props because Fizz, I don't know if you saw, man, this team and our record is terrible. I don't know if you heard it. It's kind of annoying, but they're banging on the bleachers and making the whole game. There's like this echoing of the stands. Yeah, and it's freezing outside. That's gonna be a hellish drive home for all those guys. Yeah. Everybody there, and they're in the stadium late at night, the whole thing
having a blast,
going crazy. Some of these dudes don't got shirts on. Like
hey,
that really is the life of a Browns fan, man. We are going to show up no matter what, Fizz.
But think about this, bro, and I'm gonna get to Dr. B in 1 second. Think about this. Imagine this happening when Deshaun Watson was there. He never got nothing like the fans would have been out the game by the third quarter when he was playing the game, right?
Well, you get
Jameis Winston come in the building. Nobody wanted to sign him. They act like the Browns act like they didn't even want to start him at one point. Now he come in. And I'm not saying Jameis Winston. I'm saying I'm saying a lot of people like they made Jameis the third string quarterback after DTR. So I'm saying Jameis came in. He got his inspirational talks. Everybody talking about him on social media. Now he giving the locker room inspiration. He wins this game, and now you got fans staying in the snow after the game, cheering him on. Like that's crazy to think that Deshaun Watson had this job, and literally fans was leaving by the third quarter, and now Jameis the starter, and they don't even want to leave in the snow. Like that's crazy right now.
Yeah, but they're. You know, it is, but that kind of is like a Browns thing where a Cleveland thing.
For sure.
We can really rally behind the underdog because we always feel like we are the underdog.
The underdog effect, bro. That's exactly what Jameis Winston is for the Cleveland Browns, bro. That's Joe Flacco was last year. That's what Jameis is this year. The underdog every year.
It is kind of crazy though, Fizz, because when I tell you said they kind of pissed the game away. When he threw the pick, and listen, when he threw that pick trying to go to Elijah Moore, it was really coming down, and you could tell a couple times like players weren't on the same page with him, and it was also tough because they're trying to make cuts in the snow.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, man, 10 days after he does that, there's 4 minutes left, right? I'm like, we got 10 days, a long week, 2-9 now.
They're going to throw my boy into the bus. They're going to do him dirty.
It's time to go to watch this team pivot to DTR. Yep. I was like, it's coming. And luckily, at least for the Browns, they got the opportunity to get the ball back and go win. I don't know. It is, though, the underdog effect. I love Jameis. I love the like. He's kind of what's funny now when he was young, right? I think a lot of the way that his personality is when he's a young guy coming up, it's like this guy ain't ready. You're like he's immature, all that stuff. He's just too goofy. Now that he's getting older and a little more polished, it's like, oh well, he's actually a really good person, really good leader.
Yeah,
he's a great
the same person that he was 7 years ago. Yeah,
but the funny part is like if you think about that type of the antics and just I don't even want to call it antics, but like the way he kind of presents and carries himself is a little bit over the top, right? And you think about that from a number 1 overall pick coming in, you're like, man, this young pup ain't ready. You know, he's kind of just doing too much. He's not ready for the moment. Now that he's older, it's like, man, Jameis is so fun. What a great guy. Like, he's such a good story for the Browns. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about that to me.
You know, in life, bro, when you young and you do wild things, they say you're out of control. But then when you older, you that cool old head around the corner that everybody love to hang around because you still act young. That's pretty much what Jameis is right now. He's that cool old head that all the young dudes love. But when he was young, it was, oh man, this dude is a headache. He's a problem. So, but let's address Dr. B, man, if we're going to get this show started, man. So, Doctor, man, you said CeeDee or ABJ rest of the season. And, bro, I'm just keeping 100 with you. We're going to go offense, quarterback. I'm taking Jalen Hurts over anything the Cowboys can present. So, I'm going to take AJB, even though I believe CeeDee will be peppered with targets. And, you know, he can still give you a double-digit weekly game. I just think when it comes to the quarterback position and Jalen Hurts, like even this week, Devonta Smith is out, right? So maybe AJ go off this week and he have a 30-point game because he don't have a Devonta Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like that can happen. If Jalen Tolbert doesn't play, that doesn't mean CeeDee Lamb gets more targets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take AJB just off the strength of that.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that, but it is very true. I was gonna say, listen, man, it's Doo-Doo Brown. It's Doo-Doo Brown pretty easy.
Doo-Doo Brown, baby.
Doo-Doo Brown by a mile. Listen, I think CeeDee's still fine, but he just won't be realistically his name cachet for the rest of the year. I'm kind of curious to see what happens too if they were to pivot to trade, like what the passing volume of the offense would go to and all that. But it's not even rest of the season, it ain't even close. But I like the question Dr. B asked just to make sure Fizz is thinking okay and everything's all right.
Nah, I'm good. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro.
We're just making sure you're not like got the go-go mind going on, man. Ready to just stunt with CeeDee no matter what.
Listen, I ain't been a go-go in a minute, man. But you know, I'll be there soon.
You haven't been in a while, huh?
I ain't been in a long while, bro. You know what? I need to go to the go-go. I'm glad you brought this up.
I was just thinking that. You need to not be the Jameis. Go ahead and show up, man. You know.
So look, bro. I don't know how like everybody else's areas how they do in clubs and stuff, but every go-go used to have the picture booth. They had the background with the Mercedes Benz or whatever the case, and you know somebody taking the Polaroid.
Yeah,
bro. I got at least 120 pictures I'm talking about from 2005 up to 2020. You know what I'm saying? So. And it was funny because back in those days, all my friends used to always ask me, bro, why you keep buying all these pictures? Now they understand why I used to buy them. Like, I got pictures of me when I was 17, 18 years old at these clubs. So to look at them now is crazy to think like, damn, nobody had camera phones in 2005. We wasn't taking pictures. And so the fact that I got actual proof. So I got proof that I was out back in the day because of these Polaroids.
Not just proof, some swag with it too, probably here and there. You know,
the Polaroid, like I'm an old school Polaroid type of dude. So
Kodak moments, man. Nah, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, shout out to the Go-Go's and the picture booth, man, because they held me down, man. I haven't had them for so long, bro.
I don't want to derail it, but since it's a vibe thing, I'm gonna give you the same feel, and then we'll pivot to agree and disagree. So. It's funny, man, thinking about that when I was like, you know, around that age, because we're similar ages, you know, high school, college, those days, man, Fizz, I never, ever, ever thought to get pictures. And a lot of times it'd be the girls around would have a camera or whatever, and you'd get them on like Facebook or something like that. You get tagged. It's kind of crazy. Like it was about 5-6 years ago. And COVID, especially, like somehow all of a sudden, a lot of those tag photos I had that, you know, I thought were just, they go away and you're like, dang, like I got almost no footage from the OG years, man. You know, like bro, I wish I would have had the presence of mind to take some pictures.
Go-Go saved it for me. If it wasn't for the Go-Go picture booth, I wouldn't have these pictures because I wasn't walking around. I wasn't walking around taking
pictures. You say spend money. you didn't take the camera. You could buy stuff from them. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So they had the backdrops in the club, and then you would pay the camera guy $10, and he'd take a picture and print it out and give it to you. So I'm saying if it wasn't for those parties, I wouldn't have pictures because I wasn't walking around with a camera taking them myself. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, shout out to the Go-Go's, man. I'm next expo. I'm gonna bring my my bag, bro. I got a whole shoe bag full of pictures, like 100+ pictures, bro. So
dang, I like that. All right, I'll check. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're gonna agree on those pictures. But what about the segment, man? You know,
for sure. Let's get it cracking, man. Speaking of CeeDee, man. CeeDee and Jamar Chase, baby. I know my boy T-Rock said he couldn't wait for this debate. I made sure you was on your side because I want to be on my side. And let's chop it up, bro. Let's see how you feel. I know your boy just went off. And last year I was screaming CeeDee, and everybody was screaming Chase. And CeeDee,
and you know what? You got me on the dark side for a bit, for a whole at the end of the offseason. I switched with you for sure.
I know you did. I know you even took CeeDee and come in your leads like number 2, number 8 overall.
Not just in the Scott Fishbowl. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get the guy in Superflex, and it's been fun. Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this: I'm always ride with CeeDee. Right? That's my dog. I love him. My biggest problem with CeeDee is Dak. And it's not that Dak isn't good. Dak just can't stay healthy, man. Dak has missed multiple seasons, multiple games, multiple thumb injuries, ankle injuries, leg broke. And my biggest fear is that it's always going to hurt CeeDee, right? But Jamar Chase, on the other hand, he has a T. Higgins. He got a Yoshi Vaz, Jermaine Burton. He got guys waiting in the wings to kind of step up. I don't think CeeDee has any competition for targets in Dallas. He just needs a offensive coordinator to kind of draw up plays to get him in better positions. So me personally, bro, if we draft him right now, 2025, take a CeeDee Lamb, man, because I think the future is bright, baby. I'm going CeeDee. I know Jamar Chase is probably the one to take. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna admit it. Jamar Chase is probably the one to take. But I'm gonna go CeeDee because I know for a fact he's a chill guy. He's not going to cause too much ruckus in the locker room. It ain't going to be a bunch of back and forth with the quarterback. Like Chase's biggest problem to me is he could hold out another summer, another year. He could go back and forth with Joe Burrow. They might even trade him at one point because they just tired of the headache. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is ever going to be in that situation where the team and organization is just tired of him as a person. So I'm going to trust CeeDee being where he is.
So that's fair at the end there. I will say at the end, though, part of the big thing to me and where we disagree here is going to be, playing for Jerry, man. Jerry going to always pay everybody. Jerry is going to just find a way to cave right now and pay everybody that he has to. The Dak thing's kind of crazy when I look at it because I thought Fizz going into the year, if they didn't pay Dak, he's going to have every bit of motivation. And statistically, it was going to line up where if he has a good season, he becomes the Cowboys' all-time leader in passing yards in a lot of categories because of this season. And I'm like, okay, I know how Jerry is as a businessman. He's going to think, I didn't think he'd actually get it done before the season like he did, but he's going to think if I pay him now versus the opportunity to pay him when he's got all the records, and if I let him walk, what do we have at quarterback? What I will say, though, is the injuries are starting to pile up a little bit, especially with this one. Obviously, the hamstring was really bad. He tore it off the bone.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow suffered some too, though. He
has. I was just going to say, if we compare it, though.
Fair share of injuries.
I'll compare it when we compare it, right? The thing you just talked about side by side. To me, like, yes, Jalen Tolbert is not the talent of those other guys, but I'm not going to put too much. I'm not going to put anything on them other dudes. Burrow's also been making about 4 or 5 tight ends, it feels like, relevant in Cincinnati. We just don't know who it is every week. Jamar Chase has no – the big thing is Jamar Chase has no one else that the team should be focusing on, and he's still getting it done. Last year, that was CeeDee. I think CeeDee is still talented enough. I don't think it's like worlds different.
It's like neck and neck. This is like a apples to oranges comparison, but I just wanted to get your take. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is a good starting point, and I think, like, realistically, though, the timing of this question is already leans to Chase. He's destroying him this year. People are acting like the CeeDee thing that happened last year was eons ago. You know, we're reactionary community here, but I'm taking Chase, and the reason I'm going to take Chase is because, to me, The Bengals, what I just talked about with Dak, the Bengals are on the hook. And what's crazy is they didn't get this done in the offseason because Jamar Chase is balling like he doesn't have a contract. And like, I need to, feed my family. Fizz, man, this dude is killing folks. They're going to pay him. They're not going to let him walk. You got Burrow. You keep Chase. They're going to have to pay that contract. And then the rest of their team may suffer. But I think him and Burrow have chemistry that really most people don't too. Chase is a problem in the locker room. It's kind of crazy. He giving me Jalen Ramsey vibes right now, to be frank.
But I'm gonna say this, and I noticed this with the Bengals also, right? A lot of their stat lines and games has been coming from them losing. They've had to play catch up in a lot of games. If you look at that Chargers game, when Jamar Chase and them went off, they were down to like 27-7, and they had to keep throwing the ball to catch up. So I'm not knocking Chase, saying that he's not a great dominant play. He's probably one of the best, if not the best receiver in the league. I'm not taking that away from him. But a lot of Joe Burrow's 4 touchdown, 300, 400-yard games come from them losing and having to throw the ball to catch up and keep up in the game. So I think some of that gets masked, like, the John Cena, bro. We don't see it because we look at the stat line at the end, but we don't see how they got to that stat line. And the Bengals are down in a lot of games where they had to play catch up and throw the ball a lot. So
they are. That's fair. I'll just say that the counterpoint of that lastly would be that, one, I think this team, and when they do pay Chase, they're not going to be able to probably have a great defense all the time. And two, the one thing Chase at least has shown me, his best game of the season this year was when they were up and beating the Ravens the whole game too. So what's crazy about Chase is, I think when you look at his tenure, when he's got Burrow in there, he is a 50 burger waiting to happen. And almost no one can say that. CeeDee's one of the guys that can. He did it last year, but I'm going to take Chase by a hair, and especially given the fact that right now he's got the better position.
So at least it's by a hair, bro. Is it a mustache hair or a beard hair? Which one are we rolling with?
Some of my hairs they be getting crazy long nowadays. So it's we'll say one of my beard hairs, man.
Okay, all right. I give you that. I give you that, man. So
there's some cushion. There's some cushion.
So I'm pretty sure the chat gonna go with Chase. But if y'all got any, I know we had Chase's Burrow's guy. You got to keep the QB happy. So I mean, of course I know they're gonna pay Chase, but I want y'all to kind of feed in and let us know how y'all feel on these debates too. Who y'all got? But up next, man, we're gonna go to old heads, old school, bro, old school CMC, right? Derrick Henry. Now we're not talking today.
This is tough, man. I got both these guys in the league mates. It's a tough question.
This why I'm saying what I'm about to say. Today, you're gonna take Derrick Henry. There's no question about it, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, if we going from week 12
for the rest of the season, yes.
Week 12 to 17, you're going Derrick Henry. Ain't no question about it. But I'm talking 2025, walking into the locker room. It's a fresh draft, fresh start. Everybody's healthy. Who we going with, bro?
Derrick Henry for as long as he remains on the Ravens with Lamar. Okay. To me, Derrick Henry in this offense with Lamar Jackson and the way that they put pressure on defenses, it's just that point blank period. CMC, though, what's crazy about it is he's proven over his time that, like, he can do it anywhere. Again, the Niners are the same version for him as the Ravens are for Derrick Henry. Like, you saw CMC was awesome in Carolina, but when the Niners were really cooking, CMC was able to get to that next level.
Yeah.
The reason I say this is because I have been for years now kind of like, all right, Derrick Henry's getting older and all this and that. And he's going to start getting banged up. Derrick Henry don't miss time, though. Like, you think about that, too. Christian McCaffrey for the last 2 years before this year was like a big injury waiting to happen. People just kind of forgot. And lo and behold, Monday Night Football, man, week 1, I got CMC in my lineup and then have a 0 because we find out he's not playing. I think his injuries to me are concerning. And I think for the rest of the year, especially now we got Purdy out, like, man, I don't know what the Niners are going to really look like. I'll take Henry. I'll take Henry going into 2025. I get the CMC upside and his 3-down ability, his prowess. Like, if he was fully right next year, he could end up being the better play. But Derrick Henry, the crazy part about him is you could a game like the Bengals, right, where they are actually down and they don't normally get down to teams, but they're down big. He comes off the field a lot of the time. You're getting a lot of 43, Justice Hill out there. He still has a floor because this dude's just going to score a touchdown at minimum, no matter what happens every single week. I'm taking Derrick Henry, man. I know this is maybe a little bit of a recency bias coming through, but at this position, the running back position, even in Dynasty, I'm taking the short term anyway.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and this is why I'm gonna say what I'm about to say. Injury. So Dr. B said injury is not concerning for. I don't know if he was saying that or if this is a question, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry because lack of injury. I believe CMC maybe is the better overall player. With he can get 100 yards receiving, 100 yards catching. 100 yards rushing, right, in one game.
For sure.
But he might miss 6 games. He might miss 8 games. He might miss the season. Derrick Henry has only had one major injury, and that was probably like 3 or 4 weeks, and that was in Tennessee when they was losing anyway, and probably didn't need him to come through and play, right? So I'm gonna go with availability, and I'm going with Derrick Henry just because I feel like, to me, Derrick Henry won't miss any games unless he really has to miss these games, bro. So
for sure.
I think we agreeing on this one. I'm going the King, man. The King is, all hail the King, baby. So
crown him.
And I feel like I'm so glad he didn't come to Dallas because we are clearly a shit show. But man, him going to Baltimore, being next to Lamar, that just made like I made this point to Mike and them the other night, right? Because Mike said that last night we were talking about the rookie quarterbacks, and we talked about how I said that I think every quarterback in this rookie class ended up where they were supposed to be. Bo Nix is supposed to be with Sean Payton and the Broncos, right? If he would have went to the Raiders, we wouldn't be talking about him. If he would have went to some random team, I don't think we'd be talking about him. But him being with Sean Payton, perfect match. Drake Maye. Drake Maye is a great quarterback. What I say great, but a solid quarterback. Him going to the Commanders versus Jaden Daniels going to New England, I wouldn't want to see that. I'm glad J-Day is where he is. I'm glad Drake Maye is where he is. I feel like every quarterback is where they are supposed to be in this class, right? Now, Mike said, of course, J-Day would have been good no matter where he went. Drake Maye would have been good no matter where he went. And I understand that. But I'm saying that to say Derrick Henry is exactly where he needs to be, bro. I feel like if Derrick Henry would have signed with the Giants or, the Dallas Cowboys or any team, even the Chiefs, I'm going to say even the Chiefs, right? I think even the Chiefs, he would have been solid. But this Baltimore Ravens offense and team and structure, the way it's ran, I think Derrick Henry is exactly where he needs to be. So I'm going to go Derrick Henry, man, on this one with you, brother. It was a long, outdrawn conversation, but I'm just saying he is where he's supposed to be right now. So I'm going with the King, baby.
Go ahead, man. Scratch that itch. Get it out how you need to tell the people, man. Get it all out for sure.
For sure, because like I said, we had this debate last night about the quarterbacks, and not to skip to the rookies, but before we move to the next topic, bro, what do you think about this rookie class and the quarterbacks, right? Because I said it last night. I believe J-Day is supposed to be with the Commanders and Cliff Kingsbury. I believe Drake Maye is supposed to be in New England because he's giving them a breath of fresh air and an offense that isn't probably that good without him. Like if Drake Maye wasn't there, I don't see them really moving the ball as much with these weapons. And then we got Bo Nix being with Sean Payton, who we all know the Denver Broncos last year could have made the playoffs maybe if they didn't bench Russ late, right? But then when you move Jerry Jeudy, you automatically thinking, oh man, they giving up on the season pretty much, right? You got Lord Jordan Humphreys as one of your top receivers, bro. You're not giving me vibes that you really plan on winning. But Bo Nix is doing his thing, man. His stat line is almost better than every rookie quarterback in this game right now. So I think he is where he's supposed to be.
Devon Vale,
bro. If he was with the Oakland Raiders or one of these quarterback needy teams, I don't think it would have worked. So I think Bo Nix is where he's supposed to be. What you think about his QB rookie class and the positions they are before we move on to the next?
Are you saying, like, let me just for clarity, are you wanting me to rank them or you want me to just talk about each one?
No, I'm just saying when I say they are where they're supposed to be, I'm saying how do you feel about what I said? And also if J-Day was with New England and Maye was with the Commanders and Bo Nix was with a different team, like do you think I'm right by saying they are where they're supposed to be, or do you think they would have been good no matter where they went? Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. So to that point, I think Maye is proving, in my estimation, that his talent is coming through. I think you're seeing Maye's talent really come through in New England, and to the point of him, I think he would have probably thrived of the guys. almost anywhere. I think his situation was probably the most concerning of all of them. Although Denver was very concerning too. Don't let me get Bo Nix twisted first. I'm gonna finish with him. The Jaden Daniels, I think realistically, man, with what they had in Washington, I think he really did go to the right place. That's not to say that he couldn't thrive somewhere else, but I think he went to the place that was really suited best for him, man.
Cliff, I think, and I'm saying this, I've been saying this, if Caleb was in Washington, he would be doing what Jaden is doing, bro. I really believe that. I don't
know that he quite would do that, but I'm with you that he would look significantly better and different than with Waldron and them. 100%.
100%. Now, I've said this, right? I've seen this on X yesterday, matter of fact. Cliff Kingsbury is listed as a Cowboys head coaching job replacement. Now, I don't know how true this is. I don't know. A lot of people not like Cody. Cody ain't feeling Cliff. I ain't say he don't like Cliff, but I've been praising Cliff since January, right? I feel like this. If Cliff was in Atlanta with that offense, it would be no other offense in this NFC that could beat that offense if Cliff was drawn up place. To me, now I could be wrong, but I feel like with Drake Maye, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, I think Cliff is good enough to get that team right. I don't think Raheem Morris being a head coach is what they needed because of the offense they have, right? They didn't even draft a defensive end when they needed to. They took Michael Penix. But nonetheless, forget the Falcons. I'm saying that to say, to me, I think J-Day was, and I've been saying this since America's game before the draft when I said, if Drake Maye came to Washington and he wasn't good, they would have booed him out of town. I know this city. They booed Carson Wentz. They booed Sam Howell. So
you're saying the brotherly love thing is not really true,
bro? It's Chocolate City for a reason, right? That's all I'm saying, bro. And I'm gonna say this, right? ATM.
Hey, you got the ways to knock that town, boy. It's hilarious to me. I love it,
bro. Listen, if J-Day wasn't that good, this city would still stand behind him because they're gonna see future in him. If Drake Maye got here and he won 4 games and he was what's we in week 12, he was 4-8, 4-8 right now, bro. I'm telling you, they will be booing him out of this city. I know this city. I've been here my whole life. I know this town. J-Day doesn't have to win another game this season. He is their guy. He was at the Wale concert last weekend. If Drake Maye was here, he wouldn't be at the Wale concert. I'm telling you this right now, bro. So that's all I'm saying is he is where he's supposed to be. And I feel like Drake Maye being in New England, he fits the culture. He fits the mold. And he doesn't need a Cliff Kingsbury to branch out and do what he's doing. I'm not saying J-Day needed Cliff, but I do feel like when you look at this roster, right, and I preach this around my city, we're going to go to the next topic. Noah Brown is their number 2 receiver, bro. Right?
Well, I don't know who it is, but it's to the point. Noah Brown's in consideration, 100%.
All I'm saying is they're playing way beyond their means of a team. When you look at the defense, they gave out a bunch of minimum wage contracts. They signed players for nothing, 1-year deals. Now they passed expectations. Now, when you look at next year, they probably like number 2 or number 3 in salary cap. Now you got players that want to join this team because they saw that, oh, damn, this team pretty good. So I feel like they won their season already. They don't have to win another game. But I'm saying all that to say, Cliff being there, Dan Quinn being a player's coach, and J-Day being a quarterback, it worked out, bro. So
it does. Long story short, go ahead. Sorry.
Long story short, these rookies are what they're supposed to be to me. And I think if you
I definitely think Bo also is where he's supposed to be.
If you put Bo in Washington, what do you think we get?
I think Bo is a perfect fit for Peyton. I don't think
100%.
I think Kingsbury is a guy that he's a perfect example. He's had his ups and downs as off the field and all kind of stuff, but I think he's a good OC, very good OC as a head coach. This conversation.
But I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but let's think about this, right? And I say this about Kyler. I love Kyler. But when Cliff had Kyler, bro, Kyler had so many issues. Call of Duty, he wasn't showing up to the game. I think a lot of that stuff we blame on Cliff is because Kyler wasn't being a team player. At one point, Kyler was a headache, bro. And we got to admit that as a fan base, that Cliff caught Kyler at a time where he wasn't grown up. He was acting like a kid coming to work.
That's true. I think also, though, it kind of goes hand in hand for both of them. I think there are guys that are just very, very great even coordinators, but when you put them
100%.
into the duty line of head coach, there's a lot of other responsibilities. And one of the biggest things about being a head coach is discipline and making sure your team is in line. I think part of it is definitely Kyler was immature and, needed to grow up a little bit, but also like Kingsbury is just, I think, was in over his head as far as having to even figure out how to deal with something like that. So I think it goes both ways. I do think, though, that if you can keep him as an OC, he's proven at plenty of places as an offensive guy, he's great. But the total package may be lacking for him. I think that put Jaden in a great situation. And it's been cool to see, even though Mike is unbearable about it, it's been cool to see Terry finally get himself a weapon, man. Give himself a quarterback weapon.
Sure. And one thing about Terry, bro, he reminds me of a guy that he's going to come to work no matter how bad it feels, how bad the locker room stinks. He's going to show up to work and do what he's supposed to do. But you could tell with J.D. in the building, bro, he walking around smiling like it's a breath of fresh air. Like, finally, y'all waited till I was almost 30 years old, but finally you gave me a reason to come to work and feel good about work, bro. Because
I feel like I don't have to be DJ Moore this year,
Bro, I actually 100%, right? DJ Moore, bro, been going through the ringer.
Honestly, he has been, but I also feel like, dang, bro, you kind of folding right now. Like you acting the most. I think the thing is too, though, with
he missed Justin Fields, and I'm not saying a skill level wise. I just think he grew with Fields, and he felt like, damn, bro, I just want a guy. Y'all gave me Fields, you brought me here, I build a bond with him, and now you move on from him. Now I gotta build a bond with another guy. DJ Moore probably so tired of building bonds with different quarterbacks every 2 years. He just like, give me one guy, man, please, man.
I do think, though, also you got to remember what did they do for DJ Moore? They didn't just get him a quarterback. They brought in an ultra talented player and top 10 in the draft too, top 10 pick, and Keenan Allen. Like, dang, our offense is mid at best. Sometimes it's ass. And I got all these other dudes that are giving me target competition, man. I'm sick of running routes and not getting the ball. So I think he's fed up to the point of Terry McLaurin. This is actually kind of crazy when you think about this. RIP to Dwayne Haskins. But man, what's crazy is they drafted Haskins, right? And they got him Terry later on. And it's kind of crazy to think how now, like, the draft pick of we gonna get Terry for Dwayne, that was the pick that saved him. Like, Terry McLaurin has gone through the ringer and now finally got himself with a total change of the team.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
A great QB. So I'm excited to see Terry's last several years of his prime,
Yeah, he been loyal, man. He been loyal to the soil, bro. So I'm gonna give him that, man.
He a real one.
He deserves
it. Real one.
I'm rooting for we gotta give him a nickname. I know it's Scary Terry, but could we get a T-Mac in there or something, man? Let's get him something, man.
I would like a better one. The F1 thing wasn't really it to me either. So I'm let's get him a good one.
I'm good. But next debate, bro, we got Puka and Nico Collins, baby. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I know yesterday I brought up Garrett Wilson, and when you told me you would take Puka over Garrett, I said, all right, well, I gotta come a little harder than that because I feel like Garrett is your guy. I know you love Garrett to death. That's your dog, right? That's
why I also like Terry. That the Ohio State receivers come for real.
But when you brought up yesterday, when I asked you about the debate, you brought up Garrett, you would take Puka. I said, all right, well, I ain't gonna leave Puka. I'm gonna put Nico because Nico is now. You could say I'm taking Nico over Garrett Wilson right now. If we draft him, are you on the same page with that?
You're taking Nico ahead of Garrett Wilson, yeah, for
Garrett
sure.
Wilson, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying I was gonna put Garrett as the guy, but once you told me what you told me yesterday, I couldn't put Garrett up here because you would have agreed with Puka. So I figured
that was another thing that was supposed to happen because now we got a better conversation than that one.
Exactly. So I see Dr. B say Nico easy. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna ask you this, Doc, before you is it Nico because Kupp is still there, or is this Nico because CJ Stroud is younger than Stafford? Because I'm gonna say what I'm about to say, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first, bro. Who you got, and what's your reasoning behind it, brother?
Yeah. So what's really interesting is Nico Collins was not very good on the NFL side for his early years. He showed a little bit of promise, but the truth was they had daggone long neck quarterback. What the heck is his name? I can see his name. I can't think of his face now. Davis Mills.
Yeah, you're
And,
right. He had the longest neck in the NFL. You're right,
bro. It was crazy. You get on Sleeper, right? You're always on Sleeper so much, and you see all those headshots. And every time I pull, dang, dude's got a giraffe neck for real. Like,
Nah,
crazy.
for real though.
And Nico wasn't in a position to thrive, is the point I'm making with that. But all of a sudden, CJ came and Nico took a huge step forward. But even after last year until this year, the biggest thing was he wasn't one of the guys that people wanted to crown and didn't have the basically value insulation when you think of Dynasty. So it took him kind of clearly showing that he was the alpha at the early part of this year, plus getting the bag to now get to the territory he's in, right? Which is right now, for the record, on Keep Trade Cut, our good friends over there, Fizz, wide receiver 6 and wide receiver 7. This is about as good of a conversation as you could have based on the market.
There we go.
So check this out. This is the point I'm going to make, okay? Nico Collins never, ever got to this point in Dynasty until everything changed for him. All the stars had to align for him to get to here.
100%.
Puka Nacua has been, for this entire time, everyone's been saying, well, Cooper Kupp's the guy. Or if you're, let me say this, if there's a naysayer or detractor for Puka, well, there's Cooper Kupp there. He's still not the alpha to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp came back last year. That wasn't actually the case. Even now this year, with him missing a ton of time, Cooper Kupp can still go off, but Puka Nacua is still also showing to be an alpha. The thing about Puka is if you're going to be a naysayer at this point, it's got to be that once Stafford's done, it won't go the same way for him, right? Because Stafford has a rapport with a guy that plays like Puka. IQ guy sits down on his own, can do it all. But to me, if Puka was to be bagged up and we knew that Matthew Stafford was going to play for 2 to 3 more seasons, Puka Nacua is past Nico Collins for sure. And to me, that's why I'm already baking that in, and I'm going to put Puka ahead of Nico. It's not by a lot. These guys are in the same conversation. For sure. But I feel like Puka he's already kind of answered the bell multiple times early on in his career. And he's had some of these some of these worst case scenario type things happen. And his value's still been great and fine. So I think for me, there's actually still more upside to capture with Puka. I think Nico in this range there's nothing he can do to go higher. We're never going to put Nico in the same breath as Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. We're just not going to. So I think for me, I lean Puka, but this is a correct and good combo.
Nah, for sure. And you know me, bro. I'm a Puka stan. I've been standing on Puka was going to be receiver 1 in 2024. And that was with Kupp being on the team. And I love me some Kupp, baby. That's my dog, right? But I'm going to say this. If Kupp is just let's just say Kupp said, after this year, I'm retiring. I'm out of here. I don't see how Nico in the offense that he's in, it can be better than Puka in the offense that he's in, because one, I know Stafford is in love. Like he's going to feed Puka the ball no matter what. Those 18, 20 target games that Kupp get when Puka's gone, that's directly going to go to Puka at this point, right? And I always trust Sean McVay. Sean McVay is my favorite coach. Andy Reid was my favorite coach, but I think Andy Reid is on a different platform that I don't have to add him anymore, right? So if I'm taking Andy Reid out of the picture, Sean McVay is my favorite coach, bro. I feel like he's the most relatable coach to his guys. He even has a guy on the sideline his bodyguard pulls him off the field so he don't run out too far, right? Sean McVay is the players coach. He probably in the players club right now doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say he has a thing with his guys that he has a connection. And Matt Stafford, I don't care about this trade Matt Stafford. And, we had that rumor over the summer that he was going to trade Matt Stafford. But I really don't see it, man. And as long as Stafford can throw the ball, I believe Puka Nacua will be a top 5, top 6 receiver in this game, no matter who's on the other side, as long as he's healthy. So, but Nico, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm saying this, I feel a little bad saying this because, bro, I slept on Nico this year. I was talking Diggs up all. You can go back and run the tapes. Diggs, and Diggs had a great fantasy season. But Nico Collins is that dude.
No, Diggs was actually great though when he played. And so you weren't wrong about Diggs. It was just that Nico proved to be a him type guy. No question.
100%. And I'm just saying that to say I was saying Diggs over Nico because I was a home team player. Not gonna lie. Diggs from Maryland. I was holding it down for the flag. But I just believe Nico nowadays has solidified himself as one of those guys, right? When we talk about AJ Brown and all these type of dudes that took off when they took off, Nico took off and he never looked back. Like he's a clear one when you put him on any team. I feel like he can go to any team right now and be a alpha in this league. So
let me give you a little. I'm gonna give you a. It's funny you talk about Diggs and Nico, and to me, what's really crazy, you're talking about him being the one, right? Or not just the one there, but a true alpha dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy about Nico and Diggs? These guys were both the number one player in their high school class coming into college, but Diggs went to Maryland, stayed home, and that was a really poor choice for him for his NFL draft stock because that team was absolute ass cheeks and did not do him any favors for his stats. Nico Collins was in. It's funny, man. Harbaugh now, what's going on in the Chargers. He was playing for Harbaugh, did not get along with him, and that was a guy that even when he had J.J. McCarthy, people didn't know what to make of him because all they do is run. So these guys both ended up having similar career paths and arcs where they had to prove that they were actually the players that they are because their draft stock wasn't there. They're both alphas. They're both great. I think this conversation with Nico and Puka is a very good one. I'm not going to knock you if you take either one. Nico has clearly proven to be the clear one in an offense that is attached to CJ Stroud. I don't have concerns for either, so I'm not going to
for sure.
try to act like I'm knocking one or the other. But if you make me get bullish and pick, I'm going to take Puka. I think with Nico, it's kind of crazy when you think about last game, his first game, when they gave your Dallas Cowboys an absolute kick through the rear, man. First play of the game, if Laremy Tunsil doesn't get crazy ahead of himself and ruin it, they drew it up touchdown to Nico. And
hey, bro,
instead of 4th
Nico,
or 54, it was.
Anybody had Nico and they lost that game, they was sick.
I did. Sick, bro. I sure did. Damn. I had him in 2 different ones. And
damn, son.
Yeah. Damn, son. Where'd you find this L? I found that L roughly. I'm like, it was one of those where both the games were similar. I needed a 15 from him. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I got 12 or 13, whatever it was that first play. I'm like, all I need is a couple more catches. Nope. Indeed. Oh, well. But yeah, Nico and Puka is a very, very good conversation. I lean Puka.
But to go back to what you said about Nico and Diggs and their high school and all that, I don't know. I know I said this on the show before, but my father, I don't know where Pop's at. I took my father to his first Merlin. I took my father to his first Merlin Turpin's game, bro. Right. The first game I took him to was Stephon Diggs' game.
Which year for him? Remember?
This was the year before he got drafted. So
okay, so it was last year there. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I didn't know who he was. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really? Okay.
So I got the ticket in my box. I wish I brought it out because I didn't know we was gonna have this conversation. It was a team that was blue and white. I don't think it was Penn State. It was blue and mostly white and blue.
I'm trying to remember. I think Diggs was a 15. Diggs was a 15 draft pick that would have made it the 14 season. I'll look this up while you keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you look at the year before, bro, they played a white and blue team. I don't know if it was BYU, if it was Penn State. Can't remember, right? But I'm going to just say this game, me and my father kept saying, I don't know.
It would have been Penn State. It would have been November 1st, Penn State. Oh, wait, no, they're at Penn State. It was at home? Was it at home?
It was at home. It was a home game.
So they played West Virginia early in the season, and they played, it would have been, was it West Virginia possibly?
It might have been. Yeah, I got to look at my ticket.
It had to be because this season it was West Virginia. Unless you got to play the purple and white James Madison week 1 where they killed him. Was it a good? Did they lose or win the game? Remember?
It was white and blue, bro. White and blue.
Yeah, it's prior West Virginia. Do you remember if they won?
No, Maryland won.
Yeah, West Virginia.
Okay, bet. So Diggs, you got his numbers
for in the game? Probably. I can pull them. I can get the box score. Go ahead, though. He was the leading receiver at 127.
Bet. Okay, so me and my father, the whole game, bro, I'm telling you, we like, who the hell is Diggs? I don't know who he is. I know they say he's from Gaithersburg, Maryland. So we knew he was a hometown kid, right? And I'm like, man, he's going off. So the whole draft process, my father texted me. He said, hey, your boy, he just got drafted. I said, yeah, we gonna watch him, right? He got drafted like 5th or 6th round in Minnesota.
5th round, yep.
And this is what football does to you as a human, an adult, a family, right?
Oh, someone's saying they were playing UConn.
Was it UConn?
mean, I don't even know who UConn is.
Oh, no, that's Pops. That's Pops. They were saying UConn.
What's up, Pops? Okay.
So maybe that was the year before the senior year.
I'll look up 2013. Go ahead, though. Keep going. Yeah.
So long story short, though, me and Pops went to this game. I still got a ticket in the room. And we kept saying the whole game, man, this dude Diggs is cooking. I don't know who he is, where he from, blah, 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 but he was cooking that game, bro. So when he got drafted, my father texted me, hey,
it was UConn. It was the year prior. Dang.
Okay.
That's crazy.
The year before So yeah, because look, I know Pops know because that was the first game he told me he ever been to, and I took him to that game. But when
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. He still knew the team. That's awesome, bro.
I took my father to his first game, so that was already a plus. Then we find out the guy that's from Maryland is cooking. Then he gets drafted, and so the whole preseason, while because Diggs went off in the preseason, that's really where we found out who he was. He got drafted as like a kick returner, but in the preseason, he was like the most dominant receiver on the team at that time. So he kind of built his way up in the preseason as a legit receiver. But I say all that to say, bro, I've been a Diggs fan since then because I watched the process of going to one of his games and then watching him get drafted and this like home team. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, damn, bro. And then I took Pops to the game's first game. That was just a memory I never forget. I still got the ticket in one of my boxes. So Stephon Diggs always gonna be my dog, 100%. But that game right there, I ain't know it was UConn, but I know it was a team who was white and blue. I remember that though.
Well, what's crazy is, you were definitely right on that part. It's funny when you just say white and blue as you go through their schedules. The last 3 years, I was going through them. Like, it was a whole bunch that could have fit the bill. It's pretty cool to see a guy like Diggs who was super talented, and he kind of got a bad rap. You think about him as a character too. He's definitely a character. So like, you talk about him. There was character concerns, which I mean, even still, that's never really left that dark cloud's never left him. But he's come through in a big way. He's had a great career, man. What's that?
Listen, let them tell it. He hitting off Cardi B right now. So who knows, man? I don't know what's going on, man. I'm gonna keep the statistics out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Fizz. One of the funniest just overall reels was like a short video I remember watching where they when they were in Minnesota, they had this kind of like prank style video, like, of all the guys on the team, which is the one that you would least want to date your sister? And everybody
they said
literally the entire team,
Stephon Diggs.
Within 5 seconds, someone thought, oh, Diggs. Everybody said Diggs except for Diggs himself. It was hilarious.
Hey, listen,
and they said they told him,
bro.
They told him, they're like, well, just so you know, everybody's pretty much picked you. Me? What? Why not me? I'm a great guy. It was that whole video was hysterical, man.
Now we see with the Cardi B situation why Diggs is the most untrustworthy around your sister, right?
Well, listen, I'll give you the that. Plus, if you don't know, one of the vibe stories is the crazy of him on Valentine's Day having 2 rooms in the same hotel.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely legendary.
2 rooms, same hotel, 2 different girls, right?
Fam, to even like.
My boy from Maryland, man. Shout out to him, man.
There's thoughts, but actually trying to execute is kind of crazy. Like, it's honestly, it's the same thing to me as if you go back and watch the Barkley tape with him jumping over the dude backwards. Everybody freaks out, like, bro, how did he? It's one thing to think about doing that, but you actually jumped over a dude backwards. That's like the off the field version for Diggs doing what he did there, man.
Hey, shout out my boy, man. Home team, baby. You know what I'm saying? He holding it down for the true players, man. I ain't mad at him, man. But Pops, I still got that ticket. If you need it, in case you don't got yours, I still got mine, Pops. So I give it to you.
Hold on, I want to put T-Rock's comment. I want to put T-Rock on some game before they switch the offensive scheme.
This one right here?
Yeah, before they switched the offensive scheme in Buffalo, Diggs was on pace to have a career season for himself.
Bro, people forget this. The first 13 or 10 weeks, Diggs was
10.
Tearing the league
9,
up.
maybe 10. Whenever they made the pivot away from Dorsey, those games, it was 8 or 9. He was literally going to have his best statistical season. He was on pace for that. Then they had they changed the philosophy, and that saved the team. And obviously, that's what really rubbed Diggs and started the rubbing him the wrong way.
And I think it was more of a character thing, and they just got tired of Diggs, and they just kind of X'd him out. I don't think it was skill, because if you look at the Texans, this year, Diggs Diggs was the top 12 receiver this year in fantasy.
But that's what I was going to say is if you think about it, besides that window where
it wasn't no fall, though,
they decided to run the window where they decided they're going to run the football, he has been a top an elite receiver still until he tore his ACL this year.
Wasn't no fall off, Rock.
The other thing, though, to think about to the character point is like if you felt the way where it was getting iffy with Diggs and vice versa for him, we just switched philosophies and proved that we can run the football and be better as a team that way. Why are we going to mess around and have you here when you ain't going to like this type of game anyway? So
facts. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I
feel
feel
like it absolutely is accurate. Film does.
You know, T-Rock, man. Come on, Rock, man. You gotta hold it down, bro.
I've seen the articles. I've seen
you ain't trying to hold it down from early.
Well, here's the thing, though. Just because his reception perception wasn't quite as elite doesn't mean that he didn't still thrive. He was not exactly the same player as far as some of the things about him were a little bit better. He was a little bit better of a separator, right? He had certain things in his reception perception profile, but if you go back and look, T-Rock, he was on pace for his best statistical season. That part is not a lie just because you think that his reception perception wasn't as great. So accuracy would say that everything I said was correct.
Nah, for sure, man. Shout out Diggs, man. Forget what y'all talking about. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all people hating on Diggs.
You allowed to have your feelings. Just know that your feelings gonna get shit on with truth, T-Rock, on the shit show. All right.
Well, look, let's dig into some of these rookies, man.
Ooh,
Bo Nix, Drake Maye, baby. I like how,
rookie.
you know how I gotta drop some balls on them, man. But you know how we just talked about where the rookies are where they're supposed to be. I feel like Bo Nix is exactly where he's supposed to be. And Drake Maye is where he's supposed to be. So right now, bro, we're going to debate it. Drake Maye, I didn't even realize they both was number 10. It just hit me. Like, I don't know why.
This is actually kind of funny and true. I like this one, though. In the playoffs.
Hey, come on, man. Come on, man.
Go ahead, though. Man. Keep going. I just had to throw that up.
You're from Detroit, man. Take this off. You don't know nothing about Diggs, man. Anyway, let's go to Bo Nix and Drake Maye, right? I just spoke on how I feel like they both where they are supposed to be. Right, they literally with the coach, the scheme, the team, and it couldn't be no better or no worse than where they are. Right, Drake Maye doesn't have really a true number one. I mean, Bo Nix has Cortland Sutton looking crazy.
You could just remove that. You could just remove that, like where the truly part. They ain't got no type of number one.
I mean, crazy. Hunter Henry, I guess. But I'm saying
there you go. The WoRP tight end god. Yep.
Facts. But I'm saying when you look at Bo Nix, bro, I thought Cortland Sutton was fried turkey.
I'll give you. You want to talk about misses? So he's killing it. Last year, Cortland Sutton season was propped up with Russell Wilson touchdowns, right? And Russell Wilson known for throwing that good contested catch ball and the moon ball and all that. And I'm like, look, man, they got Bo Nix coming now. And there's no way Bo Nix is going to support
no way
Cortland Sutton double-digit touchdowns to get him. And the thing was, Fizz, that was with him even having those double-digit touchdowns. He was like wide receiver 30-something. So I'm like, this is a guy I want zero parts of, right? To your point now, man, he's having a better season than with Russ. And
facts.
He was a low-cost he was a low-investment player, and I basically don't have shares of him. I wish I had more, especially in best ball. But to your point here, this is a really, really good one. I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to touch on that part of it. You go ahead and tell me if you want me to go first. You want to go first? What you want to talk about?
You go ahead, because I know DB said Bo. We all know he going with
Bo. Well, so listen, I'm gonna give DB his shout out, right?
Yeah, DB
he was a big Bo Nix truther, and Mike became a Bo Nix truther because the Broncos drafted him, even though he didn't believe in the player at all. He just a quarterback hoarder. If you don't know, now you know. Here's the thing. Bo Nix, for me, one of the reasons I was a little cooler on drafting him was value insulation, right? The community told us before he played that everybody, for the most part, outside of DB, really hates him, doesn't think he's that good. So it's like, all right, he's got to do well, otherwise his value will go down. People are going to say this is what they thought. I don't think anybody, even DB, saw a world in which he was doing as well as he's doing currently without weaponry. They drafted Franklin, it felt like, because he slipped for Bo Nix. That's not even like a key receiver for him. You know, they are in a system with Peyton. Bo Nix is playing, I would say he is doing similar to Jaden Daniels, honestly. Like this is the highest range of outcomes for Bo Nix that we could have envisioned. You got mute. I think you're on mute. Either that or I can't hear.
Yeah,
now you're back. There he is.
So look, I got this mic where you see the light is blue right here. If I hit the button.
Oh, that's a mute on yours? Interesting.
Yeah. So this
Keep
one
blue, Playboy, you know? Keep it blue and white.
just the new Shure, whatever it is.
I noticed you had the Shure mic. I just didn't realize it was that new. Nice.
Yeah, so I had to update. I keep up with my guys, man. So, long story short, what I was trying to say was, you notice Bo got better numbers than every rookie quarterback in the game. He got more touchdowns. I don't know if he got more yards than Jaden, but he's right there with him. But he got more touchdowns than J-Day, all of them. So Bo is right there, bro. If we talking rookie of the year, man, I mean, I know J-Day is getting the hype and the love, but man, Bo was right there, bro. Bo was right there.
See, I don't know if this is from the chat or to me. I didn't clown Matt Harmon. I love Matt Harmon's process. I just didn't say that he's.
I think Rock was talking about the dig situation.
No, well, I know he was. I was just saying I didn't clown Matt Harmon at all. And if you think I'm a clown for doing that, you're now just putting words into my mouth a couple extra times. But that's okay. People do that. I will say this though, to the Bo Nix point, you were saying he's basically in the spot he's supposed to be, right? And that was again.
But I'm saying as far as numbers wise, bro, he's statistically, I think he's better than all the rookie quarterbacks, like all of them. Like as far as yards, touchdowns, sure. I think I know for sure touchdowns. But
Jaden Daniels getting the injury and kind of not performing quite as well the last few weeks as he was in the early part of the year for sure. He's statistically there. One of the things for Bo Nix that I think is really, really intriguing to me, and in this conversation is very tough, is for me, because here's the truth about it. If you look at Bo Nix, you go to the game log. When I watch them play, I go back. One of the things I love about having the Sunday ticket is you have what they call like I forget what they call it, like not the fast pass. You can watch the games afterwards where they literally cut everything. So you can watch like a game in like 45 minutes. I go back and watch a lot of the Broncos ones because I don't see a ton of them like live. Bo Nix, though, man, I'm gonna look at his game log just to make sure I'm not propping it. He's getting on the rushing side of things, especially lately, right? So since week when they played the Saints, 10 carries, 6, 8, 5, 9, 4, 5. And the thing about it is some of these are design runs, Fizz, where if he was to say, let's get into that range of like a guy that's given 6 to 10 carries every game, and some of these are design runs where you've seen this year he's had a 75-yard rushing game, 61, 47, 36, 35. If he's going to give me a chance at 35 to 70 yards on the ground, like I knew he was a better athlete than probably some people did, but I didn't think he was going to have a chance to run like this. That part of his game for fantasy purposes, Dynasty, is really intriguing, especially knowing that they're unlikely to probably change the coaches that they have in here. I think Peyton, to your point, with doing what he did with Russ, he felt a long leash with this organization because to do that move, to your point, he could have easily not had a team that's ready to go this year. They're still paying 100%. While the Steelers are losing to the Browns Thursday yesterday. let me just put y'all on some game. While the Steelers are losing to the Browns, Russell Wilson's contract is on the Denver Broncos books, who should have beat the Chiefs outside of a field goal getting blocked at the end of the game. Side tangent there, but that's what makes it so difficult to me, because Drake Maye, I think, has every single bit of rushing upside that Bo Nix does, if not a little bit higher. But I haven't really seen as much for him usage from the coach and the way that he's there's not nearly as many, if any, hardly, that I've watched designed runs for Drake Maye. He's a guy that will, though, scramble and improvise because, let's call it what it is, the offensive line still needs some work. And to your point, they don't have a number one, so sometimes guys ain't open. I think both of them do have very good rushing floors and upside. I'm going to lean Drake Maye here still. And when I say lean, it's back-to-back for me in Dynasty. I lean Maye, though, because I do still believe that Drake Maye is a more talented player. And when he gets weapons around him, when things start to go his way, I'd rather have the talent typically. But if you told me you want to take Bo, man, go right ahead. I got these guys in the same tier outside of the top 10, but they're certainly got to be starting to have a conversation pushing up in front of that. And to me, Fizz, the crazy part about this is that no way in the world I would have told you in the offseason they have any chance, even if Caleb has a bad year, to pass him. I'm taking both these guys over Caleb right now, 1 for 1.
That's tough. Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go Drake, and it's not because Bo is lacking in any category, right? The reason I'm going Maye is because he's doing this without a Courtland Sutton on his team. So just imagine if they finish top 8, top 10, top 12, and they get one of these young rookies coming in. They go get a T. Higgins in free agency. Imagine what Drake Maye can be with already where he is now, plus a +1. You know what I'm saying? Like Bo Nix, we see what he doing with Courtland Sutton. I feel like Bo and Drake are like this. If we talking, because we just had this debate right now. We feel like Drake has the edge, but we also feel like they're so close that it's still a debate. Like you could take Bo, you could take Dre, it wouldn't make a difference, right? But if they're this close right now, if you give Drake Maye a T. Higgins in free agency, or you give him a, top Luther Burton, one of those top receivers coming out in this year's class, I feel like that boosts Drake Maye a little bit more than the Denver Broncos, because the Denver Broncos are winning too many games to have that top pick to get one of those top guys. And I'm not saying that you can't find a gem in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I'm not saying that. But I feel like if Drake Maye gets that one, if he gets his own Courtland Sutton, I think he could be a little bit more efficient in the quarterback situation than Bo. But I think Bo's legs and how he plays, Bo just reminds me of a red box version of Baker Mayfield, bro. He reminds me of Baker, but
red box version is crazy. Wow, that's awesome.
But I love Baker in the sense of, if Baker was who he is now in Cleveland, Baker would have been a top 9, 10 quarterback easy. I think Baker would have been over Justin Herbert, all them guys. He just didn't have the coaching, the vibe, the team. I don't know what it was.
Well, I can tell you. You mean to tell me it was Cleveland? Yeah, I know.
Cleveland, exactly. If we would have got that Baker Mayfield that we have now back then, I don't think Baker would ever make it out of the top 10 in the class. So
to your point, after his rookie season, when he didn't start and then finally had that great year down the stretch without really any rushing upside at all, he was inside the top 10. You're 100% right.
So that's what I'm saying. So I feel like Bo Nix is that to me when we talking Baker Mayfield to Bo. But if we give Drake Maye, like I said, a T. Higgins or a free agent receiver or a top 3 receiver in this class, I just think he'll edge out Bo because of the quarterback skill level. So skill level, I'm taking Maye. But if we just talking renegade at quarterback, I'm gonna take Bo. So I'm gonna go Drake Maye on this debate though. I'm with you on that.
Okay. I also think one of the things to keep in mind is when you look at it, right? The Broncos, they still have to get out of a lot of issues that they had, and Russell Wilson and salary cap. The Patriots are going to be in a position, Fizz, to probably draft very nice young receivers in this 25 class to Drake Maye, and also in the next year or two bring in guys in free agency or via trade where they can really surround him with talent. So I believe that part is very much there.
If I'm a receiver, why not? Right? You look at what Maye is doing. I'm gonna come over there. I'm not gonna say, nah, man, this New England team trash. Like,
well, definitely, and not just why not? Why? Because Drake Maye doesn't have to get paid. He don't have to get his bag for a little while. So let me go ahead and get mine now.
I'm gonna get my bag. So I'm with you, man. So we going with Maye on this one.
We agree. And by the way, Fizz, let me shout out to T-Rock, who he was saying it wasn't me, but also I'm drinking your Bakers, man. I appreciate it from the Expo.
There we go.
I drank it on Wednesday's AMA, and I'm like, dang, man, I'll have to drink it again tonight for Fizz.
Hey, look, J Day versus May Day, baby. We're gonna call May Day. That's the new thing we rolling with. May Day. Drake Maye is May Day, baby. That's what we're gonna call them on Fizzle Fridays, baby. So
one thing I just was gonna ask you real quick before you pivot to the next one real fast. I feel like both these guys, though, are getting to the point where they probably are on the elevator where they're hitting close to their top floor. I'm not saying they can't go past, but their next guys to go ahead of, if they're going to climb at all, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, via our friends at Keep Trade Cut. They're in a spot where, like, if you had them and you drafted them and you listened to Mike more so than myself, you got to feel good. But trading for them at like peak value right now feels a little bit risky because I don't know how much higher they can go. They're both having great starts.
For sure. So this next one, bro, I'm gonna say this. I got 2 different versions of this one. So it's a double. It's like
it's like last year's release of the album.
It's a 1-2 versus 1-2, right? It's a mixtape, double-sided, A side, B side. So right now, A Rich and Pickens versus Tyreek and Caleb, brother. Right?
No ceilings. Okay.
So I think that this left side with A-Rich and Pickens is maybe rated a little lower on most charts because Tyreek kind of, is Tyreek as long as he's healthy. And we see a lot of potential in Caleb, right? But if A-Rich can keep up what he did last week, maybe keep the job, keep things in order with, keep the offense going like he did last week, maybe he can be what we thought he could be. So if we taking A-Rich and Pickens, Tyreek or Caleb, which side are you going on, bro? How you feeling about that?
Come on, Fizz. Come on, Fizz. We got the A-Rich on, man. I was actually, I didn't think you had this as a segment. It's pretty funny because I saw it hanging. I'm like, you know what, man? No, I got to put the A-Rich on just to let him know. I think, listen.
Well, I feel weird because I'm wearing the damn Bobcats jersey, which nobody cares about. But
Charlotte, baby, come on.
But I'm keeping 100 with y'all, right? This is the signed Okafor jersey, so that's why I wore it because it was signed.
Really?
And it was, yeah. I flip it around for you if you need to see the signature, but it's a signed Okafor jersey.
Nobody doubts you. Nobody doubts you. You can flip it if you want to.
It was a random night. This like I need to wear something I never wore before, so I don't think I ever wore it in person. So I was like, F it, wear it tonight.
He very well may, Young Mally, not Drake Maye, no pun intended. But
hey, Adam, hold on, it's Young.
You muted yourself again, and I messed up the name, similar to
I was gonna say it's Molly. So everybody say Mally, and it's so funny. I laugh every time people say that. It's Molly though.
Molly.
Young Molly.
Can't seem to find Molly.
See, Molly. I got you, bro. I fixed you up.
I was just gonna say that I'm sorry for the mispronunciation of your name. No, it's cool. I think it's just funny though because like this is actually an interesting point where with A-Rich, right? Part of the reason I was very in is like there was this Joe Flacco thing wasn't really supposed to be a problem, right? They invested so much in what he is a project. So to act like you're gonna sit him when you know he's a project for a guy like Flacco was kind of crazy. But here's the thing.
Crazy.
They did that. Honestly, I think it's going to work out, at least for the short term, like the here and now, as the best thing that happened to A-Rich because the Colts in their division, they still are a team that has the talent to go, possibly at least make the playoffs, maybe win it, whatever. This AFC wild card race at the bottom is crazy bad. So all that to say, like
AFC South is crazy bad, bro. Just keep it 100.
Facts, no, for sure. Well, the reason I'm saying all that though is that A-Rich now having seen one, I feel like it's a little bit of a wake up call, right? Like, hey,
that's exactly
tap the helmet, and exactly you're not like beyond getting us playing Flacco, but they did that, and they got to see that. Listen, Flacco caught lightning in a bottle for us, and it was needed because we had absolutely nothing at quarterback. But this is a guy that was last year before that on the couch and retired for a reason. And now with A-Rich, it feels like last week you got to see him play free, play loose, and a little bit more like, all right, you better do something now because you're not Caleb Williams where we're just going to play him no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, though, to me, here's the thing. When you talk about it from fantasy in general, with the Fields thing, I wanted to put that back up. Sorry, young Molly, you don't get to get off the screen just yet, my friend.
Oh, okay, my bad. I took that off.
No, you good. I'm just talking.
Well, look, he's a Jaguars fan, so let him hear whatever he need to hear, bro.
Oh, Jaguars fan. Dang, that's crazy.
Hey, look,
the tough part about that is
he actually went to the Philly and Jaguars game a couple weeks ago. So
you know what's tough about that for Duval. They got half their home games, not half, but they got home games in London. That's kind of crazy to think. But
their owners still sleep, brother. So go ahead and just finish up, man.
Anyway, though, with Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, this is what is actually kind of interesting about it. You look at Justin Fields, right, who now is like a situational running style quarterback that's getting snaps with the Steelers. Right now, if you go look at a WoRP chart, shout out to WoRP, WoRP.life. If you need to change your life, that'll help you change your life. Get it turned around. Baby. Yep, WoRP.life, WoRP. You look at WoRP in a lot of leagues, Fizz. Justin Fields, who hasn't started in how many weeks now, is still a top 10 WoRP quarterback for the season.
Hey, Adam, listen, I don't mean to cut you off, right?
You didn't.
Is Justin Fields only what he is now because he's with the Steelers? Because I feel like if you put Justin Fields with the Giants, he's the clear number one. You put Justin Fields with the Raiders, he's the clear number one. You put Justin Fields with half the teams in the NFL, bro, he's a clear number one on those teams. The only reason he's not the number one with the Steelers is because they have Russ and because Arthur Smith dumbed down the offense to me with Justin Fields. He opened it up with Russ because Russ has that moon ball where he could throw it as far as he wants and it drop on a dime, and we know it works.
Sure.
But to go 4-2 as a quarterback and get benched is crazy in this league, bro. So,
well, not just 4-2, Fizz. What's really interesting, I'll make a point for him. Justin Fields was actually really improving in a lot of metrics. And one of the things that's totally different now, because if you go look at playerprofiler.com and some of the things they have going on there, you could see money throws. And at the point when he was the starter, he was number, I believe it was 5 or 6 in the NFL in money throws. He was actually starting to progress a little bit as a passer. Yeah. People don't really realize. Now, to your point, I'm not trying to act like he's a passer that Russell Wilson and his deep ball, the moonshot and all that. Like, I'm not trying to say he's in that tier, okay? But he was coming along and progressing as a passer, and his 4-2 record, Fizz, you remember the only reason they lost that one game versus the Cowboys, Fields went down and scored. He did what he needed to do. It's just the defense at home gave up a touchdown to lose the game to the Dallas Cowboys, who are woeful at this point. That team was at least, like, at that point, though, the Cowboys were one of the healthier versions of their team. All that to say, getting back to the point and finishing here, with A-Rich, why I'm taking that side is, let's say A-Rich becomes Justin Fields. I probably have in that scenario 2 years of A-Rich, not to mention the rest of this season, as a guy that has humongous upside at the quarterback position, and then maybe he becomes a 0. So let's even say I couldn't trade him. That plus Pickens is way better for me than the Tyreek side and the Caleb side here. Caleb Williams, I still think, is talented. I think hopefully they can turn things around with new coaching change. I think Caleb's talented. I think he still has a lot of things to figure out. I don't know that he's talented enough to really be in the elite territory we tried to put him into in fantasy. Tyreek, I'm not telling you that like I'm off of him completely, but one of the things with Pickens you talked about is Russell Wilson with Pickens has really unleashed and unlocked him. And I would take for the rest of the season and probably a very good conversation Pickens over Tyreek as well. So this one to me is definitely the A-Rich side, but I also, listen, I'm wearing an A-Rich jersey, so you shouldn't be shocked at that. You know?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, so
I was just going to say to that point, though, he may very well be Fields. He may not end up being a very good NFL quarterback, but I don't care about that in fantasy, right?
For sure. But I'm saying you taking A-Rich and you taking the A-Rich side, but I'm saying A-Rich and Pickens versus Tyreek and Caleb. That's the question. So
that side for sure. A-Rich and Pickens by a lot for me. And I'm probably in the minority, though, you know?
Okay. All right. Yep. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I put A-Rich and Pickens because I felt like it was a closer debate with Tyreek being, like I said, 2025, we coming into the season. Tyreek not with this wrist injury, Tua brain injury, non-existent.
Right.
Fresh off season. Caleb coming in with a clear mind, clear head. I'm not sure what the offensive coordinator looked like. I felt like it was a close debate because dynasty-wise, Caleb is ranked high in, a lot of people's eyes, right? And I still believe in Caleb. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I believe Cliff Kingsbury, if the Bears would be a fool not to holler at Cliff this year and say, hey, Caleb wants you. We spent all this capital on him. We gave away Fields. We want you as our AC. Now, whether they do it, it's up to them. But I feel like they're going to hire an offensive coordinator for Caleb because you bet the house on Caleb Williams, bro. Mm-hmm. You bet the house on him. So, of course. I think the opportunity for him is going to get better. I don't like how they did A-Rich with benching him and waiting on him. And it was just like, do you trust him or do you not, right? Then Michael Pittman takes a step back. Josh Downs is the receiver one. Like, I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis right now.
Yeah. I think Steichen has not really helped himself in their relationship and development.
He hasn't.
To your point,
he hasn't. He hasn't, bro. And I feel like what he did with Justin Hurts. I mean, I said Justin Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Well, that was what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. That's a great point. Go ahead, man.
What he did with Jalen Hurts, he didn't do with A-Rich. And I'm not sure why, because I felt like when Doug and them took Hurts, they didn't use Hurts the way that Steichen used Hurts. Like Steichen took Hurts to another level. He uplifted him and made him. he put confidence behind Hurts. Now, I will say this. I believe Hurts is already a confident guy without the coach. Maybe A-Rich needed a little more of a push, but he didn't give A-Rich that confidence that he gave Hurts.
What did we start off the show with, Fizz, talking early about with Kyler and Kingsbury?
Yeah.
Steichen in the Eagles offense was the offensive coordinator. And I think one of the things that, for me, again, talking about that thing and the rapport with Kyler and kind of that it comes from both, I think Steichen right now is a guy that's a really good mind. But when you put him in the position of head coach, there's a lot more responsibilities and things that have to happen in the game and all that. And I think some of the things you're talking about are very minute, but big points into, hey, him as the offensive coordinator can put every single minuscule ounce and attention that he has in his being to making sure Jalen is in the correct position to make the plays. I do think the Colts don't quite have the weaponry of a freaking Smitty and AJB and all these guys, but I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there. I do think they can figure it out. I do think A-Rich has some just physical abilities that for fantasy make him incredibly intriguing, more so than a lot of options. But to act like you don't see the errors and the promise and the problems, I should say, not promise, would be, lying. To me, though, I'm with you on Caleb, but I just don't. Here's the way I view this, right? At the quarterback position, the way it's turning, I'm not sure that even if Caleb gets it figured out, that he becomes, let's say, a guy like Jalen Hurts. To your point, I think Jalen Hurts is a perfect example where if you want to use A-Rich as Fields as the downside and A-Rich for Hurts as the upside, I'm taking the swing. I'm taking the swing on that. If you tell me he's Fields and he doesn't end up working out and he goes to a new team, he's still probably like Fields gave me some serious weeks in fantasy. I missed. But if he becomes Jalen Hurts, he's top 5 even when people are down on him right now. Like, crazy upside.
So now I feel wild because I got another one right here that's like a comparison.
Pull it.
But my biggest thing I feel like was Pickens and Tyreek. So you still taking A-Rich and Pickens over Tyreek and Caleb because of A-Rich?
That's a big part of it. I will admit, though, like all the points you made on the Tyreek and the Caleb side, they exist, and I'm not trying to act like that's a bad side. The way I play and the way I like to do it, though, I would be taking the A-Rich moonshot, and I think that Pickens has already shown tremendous upside that could be close to Tyreek even when he's really good. So I'm with it.
Well, the reason why I made this second one was because I thought maybe the Tyreek
was going to go the other way.
Will win the thing. So I brought up this one. It was JSN over.
Wait, which one do you have of these two? I was confused real quick.
I'm gonna be honest.
Of Pickens,
out of the first group, I had Caleb and Tyreek, and this is why.
Okay.
I feel like Caleb can be what CeeDee Stroud was for us last year if he gets an OC that can coach him up and get the offense where they're supposed to be, right? When you look at CeeDee Stroud took off last year. A lot of people got him at the 105, 104 when we took Bryce Young 101, 102. You had who's the other quarterback in that class? How I forget that. Oh, A-Rich.
Which class?
It was A-Rich. Yeah, I'm tripping. So it was A-Rich, Bryce Young, CeeDee Stroud. A lot of people had CeeDee Stroud as a quarterback 3 in that class, right?
Not a lot of people, almost everybody.
Exactly. And a lot of people got him
for fantasy and dynasty purposes, yes. Right.
Exactly. For 105, 106. So
because they were dogging Nico Collins and they said CJ had no weapons.
So to see CJ go off the way he did, I just trust DJ Moore and Rome as much as I love Rome and I love DJ. I believe if Caleb gets a OC that can come in and change this offense and actually put offense over defense in Chicago, I believe Caleb can be what CeeDee Stroud was in 2023, in 2025. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly took Tyreek over Caleb when it came to A-Rich and Pickens, and only because I believe Tyreek is Tyreek. And this year he may not be what we thought he could be, but that was Tua being hurt. That was him having wrist injury. If we not talking Tua with a concussion and Tyreek with no wrist, I'm still putting Tyreek as a top 8 receiver in the league. No question. He going to go off, do what he do. And I just think Caleb is going to be the CJ Stroud of the 2025 season. So I was taking Caleb and Tyreek. which is why I added. Because I honestly thought you
had your counterpunch, thinking we were going to both be in line.
I thought you was going to side with me. That's why I put JSN over George Pickens and A. Rich. But it looked like you already took A. Rich over Pickens anyway. So, so you definitely going with this side, right? How you feel about JSN over Pickens? Then let's just talk about that. And then,
well, really interesting is that these guys are neck and neck for me, and Keep Trade Cut says the same thing. A lot of times we disagree, but listen, I still, for JSN, I'm a little bit to the point of like, it has been awesome recently. He had the outrageous game without DK, and then DK came back and he had a better game than DK, especially down the stretch in that game. I kind of, with him right now, I feel like he might be reaching his value territory of a little bit of fakeness, meaning like I want to see a little bit more of him with DK. And if he continues to be the one, I mean, good night, man. That's the problem though. If you wait on that, he's going to continue to skyrocket up. These guys are both, Pickens and JSN, 13 and 14 on Q Trade Cut, both up in the last 30 days, 18 spots at receiver, which is higher than almost anybody that plays this position. So here's the way I would say this. I would still, it's going to be a very similar conversation for me. I think JSN I would rather have than Pickens right now. I think his style of play and all that is friendly to almost any situation at quarterback, where Geno, I mean, he's been better than anyone thought, to the point of him, being written off. He didn't write back. But listen, man, JSN with another quarterback upgrade at some point, if they draft one, whatever, who knows what that could even look like. I'll take JSN over Pickens, so I'm going to take A-Rich and JSN here. One of the things with the weird parts about this, if I was doing this for Dynasty, see the A-Rich part, he's very, very, people are very up and down on him. They're either in or they're out, right? Like Young Molly's like, I want no part of A-Rich. So that kind of, with him, an asset like him, you don't have the tradability in your league as you might with a Caleb, right? Because if Caleb ends up having a resurgence next year, damn, everybody's going to want him. So that makes it tough. But Tyreek right now, wide receiver 24 on KTC. And what do you know, Fizz, or at least I do for sure, in the offseason, guys that are 31 years old only go down in Dynasty. So that's the problem for me right now, is I got an asset that I have to wait on for a full season that's probably of the bunch here, the hardest to move. That's the reason I say that. For both sides, I want A-Rich too.
Well, I'm gonna say this, bro. My next, not next week, because next week we got our show coming up. But I think I got a show coming up soon about the downfall. I thought about this yesterday. The downfall of when that wall hits, right? When we talk about Peyton Manning wall hit.
Cliff.
Bro, he went from leading the league in every category to just jumping off and just being the worst quarterback in the league, right? Tom Brady went from the best. He had the best season he probably had statistically, other than the Randy Moss year. And then his final year, it was so wishy-washy. When you look at Matt Stafford, when is his wall going to hit, right? Matt Ryan, his wall hit at some point. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, their wall is going to hit. And I think I got a show coming up. I'm going to figure out what date I'm going to do it. But I got a show coming up of the cliff and the wall, and when these players at 30, 31, 32, 33 hit this cliff that, forget injuries, they could stay healthy for 17 games. What are they actually going to be for us in fantasy? I got that coming up soon. I'm going to think about it. But long story short, I think on this one, in the first one, bro, over Pickens, I'm taking the Tyreek and Caleb side. But on this one, I'm taking A-Rich and JSN, bro. I just think JSN to me has shown us enough. JSN to me has opened our eyes to, if they move from DK, I believe JSN can be a alpha in this league. Not saying that he's a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, but he can be a Garrett Wilson if Garrett Wilson had a legit quarterback every single year of his career, right? I think JSN is a Garrett Wilson type caliber receiver. So right now on this one, I would take A-Rich and JSN. But in the other one, I'm taking Tyreek and Caleb over Pickens. I think that's what I'm rolling with on this one.
I can respect it. I mean, to me, I guess that's the reality. If with Pickens, I like it. I think the upside's already been there. The one thing about him will be is, do they keep Russ? Do they go to Fields? Do they do something else at quarterback? Like Russ has made a huge leap for Pickens. But listen, man, if you want to put neck and neck Pickens, since Russ has been quarterback in WoRP and what they've been doing for fantasy, Pickens has been as good as damn near anybody. And that's with the NFL trying to cheat him on some of these touchdowns, man. So I'll take both sides with the A-Rich side, and I think to the point here with Young Molly. Lastly, like there's obviously a very big risk factor with A-Rich where he ends up being a quarterback that's like out of a job and didn't look very good for the NFL side of things.
Yeah.
For me though, I'm baking that in as the risk that I know. And the upside's tremendous. Here's the thing with Caleb, though. To your point, you talk about a resurgence coming for Caleb, right? This is one of the interesting parts I want to make about Caleb real fast. That could happen, and we all kind of expect that and hope that. Fizz, what happens if it doesn't? Fizz, what happens if Caleb has a bad year next year?
Yeah.
Young Molly, you know what we talking about? You know what we talking about, Young Molly? The same thing for both of these guys. The Caleb thing could end up being the case for him, too. Or the A-Rich thing could be the case for Caleb. I think his weaponry and a changing coach should allow Caleb to be better, but it's not a lock, man, with him.
For sure. Well, look, bro, before we get out of here, rapid fire, we're going to go QB, RB, receiver. I'm going to give you 3 different situations. Agree or disagree. I mean, I ain't going to agree or disagree. You just give me what you think, and I'm going to go off what you're saying. Joe Burrow, Jordan Love. Who we taking, baby?
Joe Burrow.
That no question about it?
Nah, I think, listen, I was a Jordan Love hater, and I was dead wrong last year. I think Jordan Love still, to me, though, he's definitely going to be a guy that plays for a while, and I think he's still fine. I think he's still good. I don't think it's like crazy, but I think that I will take Burrow over Love. I think Love's come back to earth a little bit. I still have him top 10, but Burrow right now is a little closer to the top, 6, 7 for me.
All right, well.
What about you, Love? You got Love?
It's tough for me, right? I'm gonna say this. I trust Burrow's Jamar Chase, but I feel like Jordan Love has more options. So let's just say this. If Jamar Chase is hurt, I trust Jordan Love to be okay with. He don't have a number 1. He got a 2-2-2-2. I feel like Burrow just has a 1. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Now I'm talking T. Higgins being gone. If T. Higgins gone, I feel like Jordan Love has a 2-2-2-2. Burrow has a 1.
I mean, listen, there's almost a scenario of damn near 0 where they retain both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're struggling to pay Chase. I don't think that Higgins is in their long-term plans. I definitely understand in the future Burrow without as much weapons will be interesting to see, but Jordan Love has a ton of weapons right now. That's
Burrow
true
might
too.
have a new coach too. So I'm gonna go with the coach, and he might. So I'm gonna go with Jordan Love because I trust the longer term. So I'm gonna say Love.
That's fair. Let me give you a little coach update though. The Bengals, they don't pay anybody, and one thing they don't do is change coaches, man. These guys don't change it. So there's a scenario where this Zach Taylor thing just stays.
Marvin Lewis was there for 13, so I'm with you.
With winning almost nothing.
I'm with you. All right,
go ahead though. What you got?
Kenneth Walker, James Cook.
Kenneth Walker. And I'll tell you this, man, I love the player of Kenneth Walker. I was a little bit like starting to become a little bit more down on him. The combination of injuries, lack of pass catching upside. But man, this year he has really balled. Not that I thought he was one of the best in between the tackles runners. I just didn't see the pass catching upside. We're starting to see that already with this change of offense with the guy coming over from Washington. So man, I really do like Kenneth Walker the third. And this time I'm not leaving, man. Let me get KW.
I'm gonna go James Cook, brother. So we agree and we disagree and disagreeing, man. So
okay,
I'm gonna go James Cook because I feel like, especially with I say this, Amari Cooper there might change things, but I feel like before Coop got there, I feel like they wanted to run the ball. And you saw last week, James Cook had 2 touchdowns. I don't think they want Josh Allen to throw 400 yards, three touchdowns a game. I think they're okay with just trying to run the ball and win the game late. So I'm taking James Cook because I just trust the offense more than the Seattle Seahawks. Not that the Seattle Seahawks offense is bad.
Right.
I'm gonna just go with the offense in Buffalo right now. So
that's fair. I mean, I get it.
So that was a close one. I ain't gonna lie. So
all right.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even have this one drawn
rapid
up.
fire. Which or we got anyone else? Okay.
No, rapid fire. I didn't have this one drawn up, but since I'm looking, we're gonna do it. Brian Thomas or Zay Flowers?
It's funny, man. The Brian Thomas ascension and descension is pretty interesting.
It's off the top of the head. I just started these two.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna take BTJ.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I called early on in the season that the BTJ ascension was happening too fast and too furious, and the injury to Lawrence, I think, is definitely going to hurt BTJ. We'll see if he comes back. I just think right now, though, the problem is BTJ's done enough this year and more than enough to have the community like just in kind of stunned and shell shocked, where even with the downfall play with Mac Jones, this guy's still locked inside the top 12 of wide receivers in Dynasty. Zay Flowers, I think right now is a little still undervalued at wide receiver 18, but I think with Zay Flowers, I'm a little bit more capped as far as meaning not in production necessarily, more so in like, I'm probably going to have a hard time tearing out of him. Like, I think he kind of is not as tradable of an asset. So in Dynasty, I'm taking BTJ. For the rest of the season, I would want Zay not close.
Well, I say this. Best ball, I'm taking Zay. Lineup, I'm going to take BTJ.
Okay, interesting.
Best ball, though, I feel like I'm taking the quarterback. I'm trusting Lamar Jackson. I'm trusting the situation. Lineup, if I had to pick which one I had to start week to week, I'm going to bet on BTJ giving me that more points that week. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, best ball is Zay Flowers because he had a bigger spike weeks to me, and BTJ for the lineup.
I like that. I will say this too. If you told me I couldn't trade, taking Zay.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
I just think the market for BTJ is crazy.
I know we don't talk tight ends, but let's just finish it with a tight end, bro.
Why not? Let's talk on him.
Tight end. We're going to go. Yeah, I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
I wasn't going to do this one, but I'm going to do this one. Tucker Kraft or Cade Otton?
Give me Tucker Kraft.
I feel like that was kind of easy, though.
It was only because, like...
Cade is doing it without Mike Evans being available. So I'm going to take that one back. Let's take that one back.
Okay. That's fair. Go ahead.
Go.
I'll give you a redo.
Let's go with Dynasty. We're not talking redraft. We're talking Dynasty, right?
Okay.
Tucker Kraft or George Kittle?
George Kittle.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
And go ahead.
George Kittle's one of the difference makers at the position. And I kind of at this position in general don't care about it. So in general, like to me, Tucker Kraft, I'd probably take over a lot of people you could mention. But George Kittle's one of the guys that actually would matter even in a lower scoring format or lower tight end premium. So like, just give me Kittle. One of the things with guys like Tucker Kraft, as much as I do love him and we're starting to see him play well, these guys that are younger, they get pushed up the ranks, but they really don't end up meaning a whole lot for production typically. And so then
I'm with you.
Then the new shiny toys come in. And when I say that, I mean the next class and the following class. And all of a sudden you find Chicken Konkwu, who was, hey man, this dude is going to be a beast and he's going to be amazing for forever. He's tight end 37 right now. I'll keep track. I'm not saying Tucker Kraft's going to go to that. Just more so the point in the cycle of George Kittle has done it at an elite level for a long enough time. And even if he goes to shit, I don't care at the tight end position.
I'm with you. And I agree with you. I just kind of threw Kraft and Kittle out there, but
I like it. Let me ask you this one. Let me ask you one that's going to pain you. Pitts or Kittle?
Mm-hmm. Pitts.
Okay.
And
let me ask you this: what does Pitts need? What does Pitts need at the quarterback position? Because I thought for sure it was going to be Cousins. Does Penix unlock him? Like my biggest concern is where do we get?
I think it's the OC, bro.
Do you?
I think if you put Pitts right, you forget the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you put Pitts right now with Drake Maye, do you not think he's a top 5 tight end every week? Look at Hunter Henry right now, and look at Kyle Pitts.
I think that would be something that could happen. One of the things that concerns me though with Pitts in general, to your point, yes, I think Pitts would be in a better situation if he was the lone guy, right? The problem is Cousins has been a guy that's put tight ends very high up. Look what he did with Hawk. And we are seeing that, like, I think part of the problem for Pitts isn't necessarily his own fault. It's like, damn, they got London, they got Bijan, and he sometimes ends up being the third option.
Cousins had O'Connell as his coach, though.
For sure.
Cousins don't have that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say coaching. I feel like you put Pitts over there in LA right now with the Rams, he averaging 12 targets a game. No question.
I agree. Coaching is a big thing. Now, here's the thing with Pitts, though. Does he, for me, the problem is, like, it's still the idea of the unicorn, right? I had the Kyle Pitts unicorn, and it's hurt my soul. I lost.
You took it off your wall. I'm not feeling that at all, brother.
Well, trust me, the wall wasn't feeling it either because it tore some drywall off the damn wall when it came off, man. And it was screaming at me, man. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. I just put the Chubb over top of it. That part of the wall is cursed, man. Chubb got a knee injury afterwards. Here's what I'll say though about Pitts. I can see the upside is super, super tantalizing. But like, I think they need to use Kyle Pitts has to be used basically like a receiver where he's in the slot and you feature getting him the ball at a higher clip right now. And so that's the problem with Pitts for me is like, does that actually happen, man?
Pitts or Darnell Mooney?
I'm
just saying talent wise.
Oh, talent wise, Pitts.
So this is what I'm saying. Darnell Mooney is getting 15 targets a game. That's Kyle Pitts money. The offense is drawing up for Mooney to get those targets. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair. I mean, and basically, is Pitts going to be used? Do they eventually lean into just using him like a receiver, or they keep trying to make him a tight end?
That's what I'm saying. If George Kittle retired today and Kyle Shanahan traded 2 second rounders to get Kyle Pitts, do you not think Kyle Pitts would be what Kittle was plus more? Because Kittle blocks a lot, right? Pitts doesn't block. So you
they're trying to make him a complete tight end, and I don't know that he ever will be.
But if you get rid of Debo, which they probably will do, and Pitts and Kittle leaves, Kyle Pitts will be the number 2 receiver on that team.
Oh, for sure. The thing about Kittle, though, that the reason I think it's I will still take Kittle is because one of the crazy parts about him, right, at the tight end position, like the position as a whole kind of just is ass. This is not necessarily a Pitts thing. So one thing about Kittle is no matter what, his boom is just it's like it's a nuclear boom. So when he hits that at the tight end spot, he'll give you 38 versus someone else's Tucker Kraft of 6.
Yeah.
32-point holes at the tight end position are tough for the whole rest of your team to overcome. That's why I still really like Kittle.
He is. And bro, we went 2 hours. I ain't even lie. I ain't never went 2 hours so far, but I'm glad we went because we had a good conversation, right? But before we leave, T-Rock brought this up, and this was one of my ones that I didn't bring up. So the last one I'm going to end on.
For T-Rock, we'll finish the agree disagree.
It wasn't like Bijan and Gibbs, though. It was Saquon and Breece Hall.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. So look, man.
I feel like to me, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Gibbs, even with Montgomery, Gibbs look like the RB1, bro.
No, Gibbs is probably the RB1.
Like the RB1, bro.
Here's what I'm gonna say though.
He looks
Saquon ahead of Breece. One of the things I said pretty early on in the season was that Saquon was my RB1 in Dynasty, and it's an unpopular opinion because I'm looking at this position, the running back position, in shorter windows right now anyway. So is Saquon going to be outscored by anybody at the position? Maybe. But right now, the way he's playing, the thing about Barkley that's so crazy to me, we talked about the Giants a little bit. Well, we went for over 2 hours, so we talked probably about a lot of shit. But Saquon getting free of that Giants team and going to the Eagles was in a position to be like, hey, all you motherfuckers that slept on me, like, you realize I've been in this terrible system and the team that I've been carrying for years. Look at what I'm doing now. One of the things about Saquon to me, though, Fizz, is like what the interesting part about him, if you wanted to still put him at RB1 in Dynasty, this dude's 28, but he looks every bit as athletic as he was if he was 22. I just will bet on Saquon to age well. So
he does.
I think I'm going to take with all these guys right now. Gibbs is probably my running back 1 still because he has a better market. But I got Saquon as my 1B, and I'll take Saquon ahead of anybody else for sure.
I'll be honest, bro. I got Breece over Saquon, bro.
Really? Okay, why? Why so?
Because of the age. Like when we say Saquon is 28, right?
27, gonna be 28 next
27,
year.
27, be 28, and he looks like he's 22. But that's just a look. He suffered major injuries multiple times. Now, granted, he's with the Giants. He's in a much better offense, much better situation. I just believe with Breece being 5 years younger, I got to go with the younger guy. Because I'm not saying Breece is going to do what Saquon does, but Breece can average 70 yards, let's just say 50 yards receiving and 80 yards rushing every single week. Breece is the closest thing to CMC than he is Saquon Barkley, right? He's going to catch 8 catches, 6 catches a game, 5 catches a game. He's going to run for 70, 80 yards if he has to. So I'm going to just take the youth in this one if I'm going Dynasty, and I'm going to go Breece, bro. So I'm going Breece over this one, Breece over Saquon, but I did say in my old episodes, go look at the takes, Madden Curse, I did say Saquon was going to finish as the number 3 running back this year. Now he's probably, I think he's number 1 right now. But I had
number
Bijan,
1 or 2, depending on your format, because Derrick Henry's been a dog too.
I had Brees, Bijan, and Saquon as my number 3. And I said Saquon will replace CMC because the Madden curse, and just so happened it happened. So I'm saying that to say I believed in Saquon before the season started, but I'm gonna take Brees if we draft him today because of the age range, and Saquon could possibly drop off in 2 years, and we'd be like, damn, I wish I would have traded him when I had a chance. I think Brees got enough youth that he can suffer 2 major injuries and still have time to recover. If Saquon suffer another torn Achilles, he done. I don't think he's gonna ever bounce back from that.
Saquon, listen, man, you jumping over people backwards, but they still doubting you, my guy. So I need you to pick it up, man. I need you to pick it up because one thing I
wrote him off. He ain't write me back. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. I will tell you this about Saquon. Don't be surprised if Saquon right now is actually what we wanted from CMC. He just isn't catching passes because Philly doesn't really do that with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Saquon, to me, in 3 years, I wouldn't be surprised, Fizz, if in 3 years, Saquon also looks like the better back than Breece Hall, because he still currently is today. He is the best and most physical, gifted specimen. Like, if you created a running back in the lab, it would be Saquon. So, like, I also don't necessarily know if in 3 years, I guess what I'm betting on is partly that I think in 3 years, he still may be one of the best, if not the singular best athlete at the position at running back, because I'm willing to bet on him. So that's kind of why I get it, though, from your point. If Breece,
if we talking if we talking redraft, I'm taking Barkley. If we taking Dynasty,
sure.
I'm taking Breece. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not telling you can't. I get it for sure. And Breece, I mean, is one of the few running backs that has the ability, 3-down skill set to still be him. We saw what he did at the end of last year. Crazy. So I get it. Yeah.
So that's all it is, bro. But
listen, I know it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that he's in Philly.
Nah, it don't. Because to be honest, bro, I love Philly roster. Hurts, my guy. Smitty, my guy. Barkley, so I love their roster. I've grown to the point, bro. I love the name on the back of the jersey more than I love the color on the side of the jersey. You know what I'm saying? So that's how fair. I feel about it.
Hey, T-Rock, man, listen, it's kind of like, to me, like, the dunk contest has gotten to the point where, like, we've seen everybody do everything. So what's the point? Barkley, how many people can you say, man, I never even saw or thought someone would ever try that in a game, still doing that in 2024? It's kind of crazy, man. That shit was insane what he did in that play, bro.
Nah, for sure. Disrespectful. And guess what? Young Molly was there to see it live. So shout out to you for witnessing.
For real? Young Molly, what's up, man? He again, going back to the Diggs thing, like, it's one thing to be like, all right, I just came off a spin move. I could try to jump over this dude backwards, but that's kind of crazy. Diggs, being like, nah, I'm gonna put 2 people up in the hotel and get 2 different rooms and be trying to go back and forth. Disrespectful, my guy.
Nah, disrespectful, bro. But look, man, I appreciate you being here on a Friday. I ain't had my boy here too many times on a Friday, so I'm glad my boy was here. We done went longer than any show I've ever done.
Hey, cheers. Listen, bro. To that point, I told my wife, I'm like, all right, I might be up there by 9:15.
I done drunk all this tonight.
Oh,
so that
you got Jack Honey? Is that what that is?
That lets you know where I'm at tonight, bro. I gotta piss so bad. I've been drinking this. I'm sitting here like, damn, I wish my boy hurry up.
Damn, it's funny. Everybody used to give me so much shit for having to piss all the time. I got Mike and Fizz every time we on a show now. I gotta go piss. But listen, I told my wife 9:15, 9:30. It is sitting here 10:30. We gonna be we're straight, but we went way over.
Facts.
Way over.
Big fact. It's all good though. Like I said, I ain't had you on, bro, in a minute, man. It's all good. Glad
appreciate you having me on, man. It was awesome.
We got some good eyes in the building. My boy made this new background. I got the intro is popping. We got a new show coming out next Friday. He's hosting the good old game show, man. So hey, listen, you got your family, your friends. They got the Friendsgiving. You hip on the Friendsgiving, ATM?
I'm hip on it. I never done the Friendsgiving, but I'm hip with it. It would be pretty sweet to do a Friendsgiving. Honestly.
I know a lot of people that's doing the Friendsgiving this weekend. So next weekend, I guess they with the family. So Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, don't matter what.
I go to tell you, man, I need some friends. I got no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, we having a Friendsgiving on the show
online
next Friday, bro. So
there we go.
tap in with us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't giving no food, but we gonna give some good content out.
We actually have, Fizz, one of the crazy parts, we have the most eyeballs we have had in the show right now, 107. So appreciate everyone being here. If you could, go check out down in the description. Next Friday we have a show. It's gonna be Mike, myself, and Fizz, all on Fizzle Friday.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. Because so before we leave, I was gonna replay the promo for that. So,
bet. So go check that out.
Talk it up, bro. Before we get out of here, man. You can get your shit over before we leave because we about to get out of here. So
go check it out. Yeah, for no question. Go check it out, man. Fizz is going to continue to lead the Fizzle Fridays. I mean, it's Fizzle Friday for a reason. Next week we got Fizzle Black Friday on Black Friday. 100%. So it's going to be lit. We're doing a game where we do, like, I'm going to host, and Mike and Fizz. It's going to be Fizzle versus Mike. So check out the new channel where it's going to be South Harmon Vibes. Moving forward here, we're going to be splitting the main channel into a few different ones, trying to make sure that, like, listen, if you're here and you want to watch Fizzle Friday and you're not as into Dynasty, you got the South Harmon Vibes. If you want to do them both, tap into both, sub to all of them. So check it out. Next Friday on the new channel, we're going to have the show with Mike versus Fizzle. And just make sure, DB told me this in the chat, my ass, I put together a pretty sweet promo, but it says October 29th. We are well past October. It's November 29th. We ain't going back in time, and it's not next year. So I changed it. Just note that when we watch this video moving out, and make sure you go sub to that channel. Talk to your friends and family about it. We're going to be lit up next Friday, man.
100%. And listen, man, we appreciate y'all being on, but like I always tell people, right, even if you're not into Dynasty, you're not into football, you just watching just to watch. When you join the Patreon, you basically just keeping the lights on for us. You just buying me a cup of coffee for the year, right? So $1 tier, $5 tier, don't matter, man. The Patreon, just tap in, bro. You probably logged on to Netflix, Prime,
Amazon Prime. There you go. Yeah, I'm with you.
Whatever you
Hulu, on, all of them,
all that, right? You probably watch it once a month. You barely watching that garbage, so. Ain't nothing wrong with tapping in with us, baby, right? Tap in with the Patreon, even if you don't log in. Sign up, holler at your boys. We're going to be here. We're going to be here if you need us. If you don't need us, just support this, the South Harmon movement, baby. So we appreciate y'all being here. Subscribe to the new channel, the old channel. If you still on now, subscribe if you didn't already. Like the video. And, man, next Friday, baby, it's going down. Black Friday, we got a gift for y'all. I know the sales is dropping. And we're going to drop something. I might even feel free next Friday, Adam, man. I might give out a Patreon a subscription for a couple of months or something. You know what I'm saying? Man, I might do a Black Friday sale next week. I might do a Black Friday sale.
It's kind of crazy. That's the same wavelength. Like Mike and I a lot of times have mind meld, but I'm bringing something similar to the table. So let's go ahead and do it, man. There'll be some giveaways for sure. Black Friday deals that are free. So
Black Friday. We doing some giveaways, baby. So tap in, stay tapped in, like, subscribe. The new channel is in the description. Make sure y'all like that one. Stay tuned in with that and have a good time. So ATM, we appreciate you, brother. And we're going to go ahead and play this promo one more time before we get up out of here, baby. So check it out. Make sure y'all tapping in with us, man. Let me get one of them things before we get out of here, bro.
I got you, man. You already know what it is.
There we go, baby. Check out this promo one more time, and we out of here, man. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
This Black Friday.
Let's go, baby. Give me Hayes. Hayes never fail, baby.
All right, Mike. You get to pick any question. Touchdown for 6 points. Field goal for 3 points. Extra point for 1. And obviously the 2-point conversion for 2.
Let's go Christmas NFL. We'll start it off. We'll ease it in. We'll dip our toes into it.
Mike knocked out the quick, extra easy extra point. Fizz. Your turn to answer, man. What you going to go with on your turn?
We're going to go for 3, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going for Steph Curry range out here. Matter of fact, Brandon Aubrey range.
Which category you want?
We're going to go Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's coming up. So let's go Thanksgiving. Turkey Day.
Oh, Fizz. I thought.
Come on.
Uh-oh. We got the lightning round. Each one of you guys gets 1 minute. Name as many players as you can. Pick your era. 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Let's go. Like Jaden Daniels, game on the line. Need that Hail Mary. Let's go 2000s, baby.
I'm from the mean streets of D.C., baby. You know what I'm saying? We going 80s.
McNutted versus Fizzle Dollars. Make sure you check it out this Black Friday on the new South Harmon Vibes YouTube channel.